We're muted. We're muted. Okay, hang on. Good evening. Welcome to the Raw Feed. We are streaming live worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I'm Gary Franchi, and what you're about to see tonight might be the most important broadcast we've done yet. Why? Because something extraordinary is happening in America right now, and the mainstream media is doing everything they can to hide it from you. Today marks the 32nd day of Donald Trump's historic return to the White House, and what's unfolded in just 1 month is unlike anything we've seen in American political history. And tonight, we're going to show you exactly what's happening and, more importantly, why it matters to you. But before we dive in, I want you to do something right now. Take out your phone and text this live stream link to 3 people that you trust. Why? Because big tech is actively suppressing this information. They don't want it spreading. But we know the algorithm can't stop direct sharing via text message. This is too important not to share. And for those joining us across all platforms, we see you on YouTube, Rumble, and X. Make sure you're following us everywhere. When they try to shut us down on one platform, you'll find us on the others. Yes, that's not paranoia. That's called preparation. And tonight's show is packed with explosive developments. We are talking about Trump's unprecedented 73 executive orders, Elon Musk's chainsaw-wielding appearance at CPAC that has the left an absolute meltdown, and, of course, the complete transformation of our southern border. We'll show you why the illegal crossings have plummeted 93%, and a number so dramatic the mainstream media refuses to report it. But that's just the beginning. We'll dive into Kash Patel's confirmation as FBI director and what it means for the deep state, plus exclusive footage from Trump's Black History Month celebration that CNN and MSNBC won't show you, but of course we were there on the ground in the East Room. Yes, yours truly, getting it all for you. So why are they hiding it? Well, you're going to understand when you see it. And for our loyal viewers, you know, we read every super chat and Rumble rant between segments. Your messages will be featured right here on screen for the world to see. And yes, they get priority. And speaking of priority, we have launched our channel memberships with exclusive perks. Members get special acknowledgement in the live chat and exclusive access to our team. And if you join now, you'll see all the behind-the-scenes stuff that we were posting for all of our members in all of our travels to Washington, D.C. over these last 2 weeks. Exciting stuff. Now, we need to talk about something serious. The show exists because of your support. The mainstream media has billion-dollar budgets from their corporate overlords, but we've got you. Yes, and that's why we put the donation links in the description. If you value real news, help us to keep it going. And don't forget to check out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Our exclusive limited edition Mag Avengers collection has dropped. Also, get a Next News Network hat. It's not just merchandise, it's a statement, and when you wear it, you're telling the world where you stand. So, we got the full story behind Trump's border victory, Musk's explosive CPAC revelations, the truth about Fort Knox that has the establishment terrified, and why Mitch McConnell's sudden retirement announcements might just be the beginning. So stay with us. The Raw Feed starts now. Let's welcome you to the show, and we have a special guest joining us from the ground in CPAC in my room. What's up, guys?
Hey there, Gary! How are you? Adam over here with Zach.
How's the room? Are you guys holding it down?
Dude, absolutely amazing. Gary, I want to show the room how it looks over here, so I'm going to flip the camera. Can you guys see the flip camera over here?
No, we see you, but you're beautiful. Did we lose him? Did we lose him? Did they get disconnected?
Hold on. Okay, I'm going to have to do it. There it is. There it is. All right, so take a look at how Gary hooked us up over here. There's Zach over there.
I can't believe I got this place. This is amazing.
There you go.
Is that a bottle of Jägermeister?
There's my bed. That's where I was sleeping. You have no idea what we are prepared for over here.
Oh my goodness! You guys are holy cow, dude! Wow.
It's for the parties and festivities tonight. We got the nice American flag. We got the view of the Ferris wheel out there. We got everything hooked up over here. Look at this. Look at this. This is like luxury over here. We're enjoying ourselves over here.
Zach,
Gary,
did they change the linens? I hope they did.
I hope they did. If not, we're going to have a fun time. We're going to find out later tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
I got us back on the selfie mode.
There we go.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm happy to be here at CPAC. I'm going to be recording videos about positivity over here.
And that alcohol is all him. I do not believe in drinking. That's a separate thing. Do not put me in that category.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah, I do not partake.
It's for you guys, though. It's my gift.
Yeah, make alcohol great again.
Oh my goodness, you guys are too funny. Too funny. Well, hey, have fun. Hold it down for the next news network while you're there. Looking forward to seeing what you guys post on X. Make sure you follow Adam and Zach on X because they will be posting there all the exclusives that we're going to be featuring on the show in the coming days. So make sure you'll get first dibs when you follow them on X. Okay, so make sure you do that. Adam, Zach, have fun, guys.
Take care.
All right. Okay. They look like they are ready for the night. Holy cow. That is a big bottle of Jägermeister. Holy cow. I haven't seen a bottle of Jägermeister that big since last week, actually. No, just kidding. I can't drink Jägermeister anymore. No. That stuff is like, no, thank you. But maybe if you drop it in a Red Bull. But anyway. Okay. Who's in the house? We got Ronald. We got Overeducated SP. We've got Valerie, Zach, Shadow Watcher, Steph Fundos. We've got Sure You in the house. Ronald, Cully, Jay Flo, Juan Ruiz, Miss Minder Sue, Carrie Kleinschmidt. We've got Duty to Rebel, Jesus Only God, Overeducated SP. El Barto is in the house. The Destroyer, To All Trolls, is in the house as well. Cindy Rose. We've got Jay Truss, Warren Harrison, Juan Ruiz, JJALP, Sean Gunk. We've got James Buckner. We've got the gang's all here. I'm back in studio, guys. I literally just landed a couple hours ago. If you remember on the channel, you would have seen some of the travel experiences that we had. We got Patty and me. What's up, Patty? We see you. We got Noel. We got Fitch09. He wants a shout out. We got Patricia. We got Marge. We got Darlene Carter in the house. We've got B Cats, Caro, Minky, Mr. Astrova, Craig, Stefania, Tampa, Deval, Janet Castro, Jay Flo. The gang is all here. Big Dogs, Peculiar Life. Everyone's in the house. Okay, folks, we got to get some news now. Bring you all the latest that's happening around Washington, D.C. and in the world. When Donald Trump returned to the White House 1 month ago, the establishment told you nothing would change. In fact, they told you that he would destroy democracy. Remember that? Well, they lied. In just 32 days, President Trump has signed 73 executive orders, more than double what Biden managed in the same time frame. But it's not just about numbers. Trump's orders are actively dismantling the deep state apparatus piece by piece. Small business optimism is soaring. The border is secured, and that is just the beginning. Coming up, we're going to show you exactly how Trump's first month back is transforming America and why the establishment is in absolute panic mode. And you won't believe what happens next. And you know what the establishment doesn't want you to understand? The connection between Trump's first month and your personal health. While he's signing 73 executive orders to restore America, you can take 73 seconds to restore your health with this breakthrough collagen formula. Just as Trump is rebuilding America, you can rebuild your body's collagen levels. The results are incredible. I use it myself. Visit healthwithgary.com to get 51% off this revolutionary multi-collagen formula. It's about more than looking younger. It's about taking control. That's healthwithgary.com. Okay, this was just a few moments ago. Howard Lutnick officially sworn in as the Secretary of Commerce. And as you know, he's one of the big advocates for ending the IRS. Wouldn't that be something?
Put your hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Howard Lutnick.
I, Howard Lutnick.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
I will take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary. Put your hand on the Bible.
Oh, yeah, baby. And the IRS. We also had the Black History Month event at the White House. The black voters are waking up. We'll have that later in the show. That's my live hit from the White House. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Yeah, the first report that I filed just outside the White House. It was cold, and my tripod almost fell over. We're going to show you that later in the show. But here we have this. Andrew Klavan, Daily Wire, 23 hours ago. By far, my favorite thing about the Trump administration has been this.
It is by far my favorite thing about the Trump administration has been the absolute decimation and destruction of the mainstream media. It has been like that scene in Game of Thrones where the woman has to walk naked through the streets while people shout shame and throw rotten vegetables at her. Except it's been better because it's been the mainstream media walking naked through the streets. And they've just been reduced. And I knew this the moment...
No one wants to see that, Drew.
the moment the results of the election came in, this kind of blanket of peace passed over me because I realized what had happened, that we'd beaten them.
And that was death, Drew.
Yeah, that may be death, yeah. But it couldn't have happened without Trump. It couldn't have happened without Trump. But it couldn't have happened without us, too, and all the Joe Rogans and all the podcasters and all the small media that grew up suddenly and exposed them for what they were. And the benefits, the side benefits of this, is it has put a little tiny bit of steel in the Republican Party. These guys,
like this much.
You know, this place that we're in right now is surrounded by media like this steel bubble, I should call it. And they think when the New York Times says something, it's the people talking. They think, oh my gosh, it's in the New York Times. My career will be destroyed. And now they realize it's in the New York Times. A bird is going to crap on it, and no one's going to remember what anybody said. By far, my favorite thing about...
Oh, you got to love it. It's happening. Here is President Trump. 4 hours ago, yesterday, I had Tim Cook in the office from Apple. What's going on there?
Hope I didn't announce. Yesterday, I had Tim Cook in the office from Apple. He's investing hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't know. I hope he's announced it. Hope I didn't announce this, but what the hell? All I do is tell the truth. That's what he told me. Now he has to do it, right? So it's good. But he's investing hundreds of billions of dollars, and others too. We're going to have a lot of chip makers coming in, a lot of automakers coming in. They stopped 2 plants in Mexico. They were under construction, starting construction. They just stopped them. They're going to build here instead because they don't want to pay the tariffs. The tariffs are amazing. It's good. I got myself in a lot of trouble. I said it's my favorite word in the dictionary, the word tariff. It's such a beautiful word. And the fake news killed me. They said, what about love? What about God? What about family? And they said, I'm in trouble. I said, so now it's my 4th favorite word. I say, love, God, family. A couple of others I could add in there too, but it's my 4th favorite word. So yesterday I had...
See how they try to spin it? Because he didn't put God and family and country first. He put tariffs first. Yeah, that's the mainstream media. That's why they're dying on the vine. Here we have just 24 hours ago. Truly patriotic Americans are supporting President Trump. That's right, baby.
Somebody else's property.
Guy just yells in the street, Trump 2024. What makes you love Donald Trump?
If you're truly a patriotic American, how could you not love Donald Trump? If you actually are somebody that does your research and your due diligence as opposed to being pushed by somebody else's propagandist talking points, how could you hate Donald Trump? He's the most popular businessman in American history. If you wanted a movie to be popular throughout all of before 2016, who has the most cameos? I find it funny that as soon as he became a Republican, he became racist. But name me that racist that won an NAACP award. I'll wait. Didn't we have peace around the world when Trump was in office? Why are we in war right now? Oh, and for that daggone bill y'all want to keep talking about the border? Well, y'all okay with the administration giving $60 billion to Ukraine so they can put 1,500 at the border? Here's something else deeper for you to think about. Didn't they leave millions and millions of guns in Afghanistan unguarded and unattended and left the country? Directly after that, Xi Jinping and Putin came down and gave them legitimacy. Well, what happens after that? Oh, didn't Biden give Putin access to a gas pipeline? And then directly after that, he went to war with Ukraine. And then was it a coincidence that one of our basketball stars got locked up in Russia and we traded her for Victor Boot? So we traded the Lord of War for Brittany Griner with a whole bunch of unattended guns in Afghanistan. That's what you voted for. That's better than Trump. You need to wake up, bro.
Wow, that guy is definitely learned, man. Holy cow. Quite the message that he is sending there. And we've got this. President Trump, did you see this today? 4 hours ago, Trump gets into a battle with the governor of Maine over allowing men and women's sports. Let's check this out. This was in the state dining room at the White House earlier today.
It's just a left jab. She got hit so hard, she said, I can't do it. They forced her to go out. No, go out again. You'll do it. Goes out again, gets hit again. No, that's it. She didn't want to die. And it's crazy, but the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine? Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state. Good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility.
Dude, that was brutal. That was freaking brutal. Oh, man, right there in the White House, President Trump just laying it down. Speaking of laying it down, here's Secretary Sean Duffy. New York's congestion pricing scheme is coming to an end.
Why can't New York City determine what it wants to charge for people to come in and out?
So we give them the authority, number one. And so the American taxpayer, the New York taxpayer, funded those streets. And the way the governor set this up is, she said, even though you already paid for these streets, you can't use those streets unless you pay an additional toll. Well, if I'm the taxpayer, I'm like, I already paid for the street. Why am I paying an additional toll to the taxes I already paid? There's no free pathway into that cordoned area, right? So if you're a middle income or a lower income shopper or worker, you can't access public roads by any means into this area. That's flat out wrong. And we've never had a program like that where there's not a free public road to get in to a certain area, number one. Number two, she never did a study to say, I really care about congestion. I want to reduce congestion. So I'm going to look at how much money should I charge in a toll and how much will that reduce congestion. That analysis was never done. So instead of paying $9, could someone pay $5 and reduce congestion, or $3 to reduce congestion? She didn't do that. She set a pricing, and so maybe the question is, why did you set it at $9? What was the purpose of setting a $9 toll? If it's not for congestion, was it to raise money for public transportation? I don't know. But again, that's the analysis I think the taxpayer would expect. And if we're going to give approvals, I want to make sure the public can access this cordoned area for on some of the roads that they paid for. And I want to make sure that if she's going to charge a fee, a toll, she's going to charge an amount that's going to actually reduce congestion, not just...
Wow. Donald Trump already making the roads great again. Here we have 24 hours ago, I was actually in the room here at the press conference. I was standing along the right side of the wall. Had an interesting exchange with some of the members of the photography press pool who didn't really seem to like me there. No, they didn't like that Gary Franchi from the Next News Network was going to be recording the event. No, they didn't like my tripod, so they came up and told me the White House Press Correspondents Association has said you can't have a tripod here. Okay, so fine. I broke it down. I broke the tripod down and then put my gimbal up with my phone and got the whole thing anyway. We streamed it to you live last night. But let's listen to this moment when the White House Deputy Chief of Staff gives the fake news a civics lesson.
Democratic will. It is true that many of the people in this room for 4 years failed to cover the fact that Joe Biden was mentally incompetent and was not running the country. It is also true that many people in this room who have used this talking point that Elon is not elected fail to understand how government works. So I'm glad for the opportunity for a brief civics lesson. A president is elected by the whole American people. He's the only official in the entire government that is elected by the entire nation, right? Judges are appointed, members of Congress are elected at the district or state level, which is one man. And the Constitution, Article 2, has a clause known as the vesting clause, and it says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular. The whole will of democracy is imbued into the elected president. That president then appoints staff to then impose that democratic will onto the government. The threat to democracy, indeed the existential threat to democracy, is the unelected bureaucracy of lifetime tenured civil servants who believe they answer to no one, who believe they can do whatever they want without consequence, who believe they can set their own agenda no matter what Americans vote for. So Americans vote for radical FBI reform, and FBI agents say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote for radical reform on our energy policies, but EPA bureaucrats say they don't want to change. Or Americans vote to end DEI, racist DEI policies, and lawyers at the Department of Justice say they don't want to change. What President Trump is doing is he is removing federal bureaucrats who are defying democracy by failing to implement his lawful orders, which are the will of the whole American people. It is.
Yep. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. I was there. I saw it. And the gasp in the rooms when he took on the fake stream media was amazing. Here we have this from Real America's Voice. Looks like it's hard to stomach these ladies because they're so radical. Conservative joins special report to discuss The View, blaming Delta Airlines crash. Oh, my goodness.
He can do. So let's go over to the Trump supporting show, The View, and more like the Trump Haters Club. The things they report are often one-sided. Now, they are blaming Trump for the Delta airline crash in Toronto. How on earth are they putting these pieces together?
I have no look. Trump can cure, the most contagious disease in the world. He can do anything, and it's his fault. It's always his fault. These ladies, it's really hard to stomach these ladies because they are so radical. I think there's one host on the panel who actually said the other day, "What do you want me to do?" Said this to Whoopi, "What do you want me to do? I'm trying to agree and then disagree about things, but it doesn't seem like we can have a conversation." And that's the problem here. Most of these women, there's nothing that you can say, that Trump can say, that we can say, that's going to change their bias towards Donald Trump. I don't even think the plane crash was here. It was in Canada, so I don't know. Maybe that would be Trudeau's fault.
So let's
Trudeau's fault, indeed. Here we have the older millennial posting this. Things are always better with a little historical context. What's going on here?
Plane crash.
A plane crash has occurred in Marana, Arizona.
If you're watching liberal news, you're probably wondering, why are all these plane crashes happening? Like, there's never been this many plane crashes. It must be because of Trump. For those of you who think that way, let me introduce you to the NTSB's monthly accident tracker. In January of 2025, there's so much talk about the awful things Donald Trump has done to the FAA. There were 62 accidents. January of last year, there was 80. In 2023, there were 89. 22, there was 82. 21, there was 74. Back in 2020, there were 89. So every single year Joe Biden was in office, there were more crashes in the month of January. But the news didn't tell you to panic about that. They told you to panic about 62. Oh, and in February, where all these crashes are happening, there was 25. February of last year, there were 93, then 81, 99, 90, 96. Guys, if you're losing your shit over 25, wait till we get to these months. Please recognize that if you're only panicking because the media told you to, you're a fucking sheep.
A plane crash has
Yep, that's what the mainstream media does. Holy cow. Here's President Trump unloading on Zelensky on Air Force One. People are in panic mode over this.
What happened?
Can you resurrect that deal? Is there anything that you can do?
I think I'm going to resurrect it. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to resurrect it, or things are not going to make him too happy. And look, it's time for elections. Haven't had an election in a long time. It's wonderful to say, we can't have an election, but it's time for elections. And it's also time to find out what happened with all the money, because he made the statement that half of it he doesn't know where it is, or something like that. And I'd like to find out all the money that we've been sending to Ukraine, where is it? And I can tell you we're doing very well with Russia. We're going to do something with Russia that he was unable to do. We can make a deal with Russia to stop the killing of, potentially additional millions of people. The soldiers are being just wiped out on both sides, wiped out. It's horrible. The weaponry today is so powerful, so, strong, that it's killing a lot of soldiers. And I don't want to see they're Russian and they're Ukrainian. I don't want to see those soldiers killed. They have mothers and fathers. They have sisters and brothers. I don't want to see them killed.
President Trump working for peace. President Trump, of course, also this. Real Donald Trump gets asked, what's the best advice you've ever received? Just about 24 hours ago. Let's listen.
It was a very hard work.
What is the best piece of advice that you have ever received?
Well, I think it was watching my father. My father was a very hard worker, and he just worked hard. And he was very smart. He had good genetics. His brother was the longest-serving professor in the history of MIT, Dr. John Trump. And my father was every bit as smart, but my father had to work. He was older, and he put his brother through school. In fact, he once said, boy, I put him through so much school. He had 3 different degrees, and they asked him to stay on at MIT, but my father was the same ilk. And I noticed that my father was a happy man. And what he did is he worked. He just worked all the time. He worked. And he loved it. And really, I think the best piece of advice I got from that is you have to love what you do. And if you love what you do, you're going to have a happy life. If you don't, I see so many people, they're in businesses that they don't want to be in. They're in businesses that, they're bored in or they're not good at. They don't have a natural ability at it. There is such a thing as natural ability, whether it's sports or acting or anything else. Some people have an ability for something. Try and find that ability. But you have to love what you do. If you love what you do, you're going to be, at least you have a good chance of being successful.
If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And then we've got this breaking news just 5 hours ago. The DOJ may be releasing the list of that guy that didn't do something of his clients. Check this out. Here's Pam Bondi.
Files. That's all. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies. So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh? Not yet. Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
Well, I'm sure that several people's lives are about to change when that list is released. Here we have more from that press conference I was at. This is Deputy.
He has launched the nation's first
Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller.
He has launched the nation's first ever commission, the MAHA Commission, Make America Healthy Again, following the historic confirmation of RFK Jr., to finally uncover the true root causes of the public health crisis in this country, the childhood disease epidemic in this country, the spiraling rates of pediatric cancer, and devastating childhood sickness. He has finally created a situation where the federal health agencies in this country will be focused on preventing disease, on keeping children from getting sick in the first place, not sentencing them to a lifetime in and out of hospitals, suffering needlessly, when we can find ways to prevent this epidemic of illness.
Finally getting to the root causes of the epidemics, just wreaking havoc on the health of Americans. Here's more. 5 hours ago, President Trump in the state dining room at the White House. Let's check it out.
I can't think of any, but I'm delighted to welcome America's governors to the White House. You're amazing people. Even the Democrats are amazing people, some of you. And we've worked together. Actually, we work very well together. I can't think of anybody. There's one or two, that it doesn't work out so well, but that's sort of normal. But I do want to welcome you, and I want to let you know that anything I can do, I'm here. I'm here for you, and we can do a lot.
Well, we'll see how that turns out. Here we have Mike Waltz. Key part of the conversation was helping President Zelensky understand this war needs to come to an end.
And we're going to. Zelensky publicly rejected this deal about the rare earth minerals. Where does that stand? Well, we're going to continue to have, he needs to come back to the table, and we're going to continue to have discussions about where that deal is going. Again, we have an obligation to the taxpayer. I think this is an opportunity. The president thinks this is an opportunity for Ukraine going forward. There can be, in my view, nothing better for Ukraine's future and for their security than to have the United States invested in their prosperity long term. And then a key piece of this has also been security guarantees. Look, the reality that we're talking about here is it in Ukraine's interest? Is it in Europe's interest? It certainly isn't in Russia's interest or in the American people's interest for this war to grind on forever and ever and ever. So a key part of his conversation was helping President Zelensky understand this war needs to come to an end. This kind of open-ended mantra that we've had under the Biden administration, that's over. And I think a lot of people are having a hard time accepting that. And then the other piece is there's been discussions from Prime Minister Starmer and also President Macron about European-led security guarantees. We welcome that. We've been asking Europe to step up and secure its own prosperity, safety, and security. So we certainly welcome that, and we certainly welcome more European assistance. As I told my counterparts, come to the table with more if you want a bigger seat at the table. And we've been asking for that for quite some time.
Yeah, come up with a plan. You don't like our plan? Bring something to the table. I mean, why does America always have to do the heavy lifting? Well, it's because the rest of the world just doesn't know how to lift anything. Here we have the White House Deputy Chief of Staff 7 hours ago, James Blair, 47, saying it's great to have an energetic leader running circles around. Oh, boy.
A lot of it, if not. You know, the president has thought deeply about what he wants to accomplish in the time he was not in the White House, obviously. And he's been spending a lot of time planning and obviously asking his team to plan the actions that we've executed so far. So I get asked a lot, was all this planned? And, you know, obviously new ideas come up every day, but a lot of it, if not most of it, was planned. He's thought deeply since he left the last time around, and he knows that he wants to accomplish a lot in a short period of time. So really, it's all of us just playing catch up with the president. It's great to have an energetic leader. He runs circles around all of us. He doesn't sleep. He works all the time. And he's really committed to making this time in office very useful for saving the country. I mean, he's just going to do what he said he was going to do, and that's it. You know,
Yeah, and Joe Biden couldn't get anything done because he was sleeping all the time. Here we have more. This is from Mike Walsh, 47, at that press conference.
Call, President. I just want to push back on this notion of our European allies not being consulted as we've entered into this process. I already mentioned the immediate phone call President Trump made to President Zelensky. He has talked to President Macron of France repeatedly last week. President Macron convened European leaders and then is coming here on Monday. Prime Minister Starmer is coming next Thursday. I've talked to every one of my national security advisor counterparts across the spectrum in Europe. I've talked to Secretary General Rutte, the leader of NATO, the Secretary General of NATO. We have repeatedly, oh, by the way, we had half our cabinet, 7 cabinet officials, including the vice president, at the Munich Security Conference, all engaging, all listening, and all making sure our allies are heard. However, we've also made it clear for years, decades even, that it is unacceptable that the United States and the United States taxpayer continues to bear the burden, not only of the cost of the war in Ukraine, but of the defense of Europe. We fully support our NATO allies. We fully support the Article 5 commitment. But it's time for our European allies to step up. And one of the things that Secretary General Rutte said on our call was, this last couple of weeks have been a real wake-up call. And I asked him, what have you been missing the last couple of years? The fact that we are going to enter into a NATO summit this June with a third of our NATO allies still not meeting the 2% minimum, a commitment they made a decade ago, literally a decade ago, with a war on their doorstep, the largest war that they're all extremely concerned about, but yet it's, well, somebody else needs to pay We've got other domestic priorities. It's unacceptable. President Trump's made that clear. And the minimum needs to be met. We need to be at 100% in this June at the NATO summit. And then let's talk about exceeding it, which is what President Trump has been talking about with 5% of GDP. Europe needs to step up for their own defense as a partner, and we can be friends and allies and have those tough conversations.
Yep, they need to step up, okay? Do we have to keep footing the bill for everything? Here we have the White House. This is Paul Zipula. The White House is looking to sell the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building in San Francisco. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, poor Nancy.
It's on the buildings. White House is looking to sell the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on 7th Street and the century-old building at 50 United Nations Plaza. The Trump administration says it will save money by avoiding maintenance on the buildings, selling the properties, then leasing office space for federal workers. Former Congresswoman Jackie Spears says it's just about vengeance.
It's another example of how he's coming after Democrats, he's coming after California, and it's all about payback.
White House.
Yeah, well, maybe it is. So keep crying. We have more here. Matt Schlapp talking about the resolution condemning the CCP at the CPAC International Summit. Actually, I was at that international summit.
Gordon Chang wrote a very important resolution. By the way, these resolutions were supported by all the nations that were assembled at our second annual CPAC International Summit. We are working not as government entities, but as entities outside government to push for these policies. And Gordon Chang wrote a very important resolution to combat the Chinese regime, the communist regime in China. And I want all of these despots and dictators to know that Donald Trump might talk to you. He might make you feel like you're welcome because that's part of his job. But in the end, we have a president that's going to stop you cold in your tracks. And all of these countries accepted that resolution as well.
Yeah, we're not playing anymore. Here's the NEC director, Kevin Hassett, talking about small business optimism. Of course, it's raging back.
ISM, which is small business optimism, has gone up by the most ever since President Trump came in. ISM, which is the measure of what's going on in manufacturing, it's expanding again for the first time in years. CEO confidence is the highest it's been in years. And the reason people are thinking this is that our policies give people cause for optimism. Small business optimism has gone up by the most ever.
Optimism is back in America. Here we have Secretary Wright. What's he going to say?
In electricity prices, just in the previous administration, during President Trump's first term, almost no change in national average electricity prices. All of a sudden, a huge rise in electricity prices, rise in gasoline, rise in energy across the board. So what was the response to that? Well, the United States is the dominant producer of natural gas, and we have a booming industry exporting natural gas to our allies around the world. Well, let's stop that. Let's ban new permitting of LNG export terminals. And then to add insult to injury, a whole bunch of regulations were rolled out to limit your ability to buy the appliances you want. You may want to buy that appliance, but the new appliance you're allowed to buy costs more and works worse. My dishwasher has to run for 2 hours now, and at the end I got to clean the dishes. My clothes dryer works at half the power. In theory, this is saving energy. It just takes twice as long to dry our clothes. These are just nonsensical things that have hurt people's lives and driven prices up. President Trump came in, and he is strong, and he is bold, and he gets energy. His goal was, we're going to bring back common sense. So what's the plan? Drill, baby, drill, and build, baby, build.
Let's go, baby. American energy is back. And here is the press secretary. I met her later that evening in the press room. She came on, did a surprise appearance, got a photograph with her. We were standing right there at that lectern when she came out. It was amazing. All the press had pretty much gone for the night, but me and Tom were there. We were working late, and we had a unique opportunity to meet her. Let's take a listen.
Sealed. Today marks 1 month of President Trump's return to the Oval Office, and there is no denying this administration is off to a historic start. The president has already signed 73 executive orders. That is more than double the number signed by Joe Biden and more than quadruple the number signed by Barack Obama over the same period. These executive orders have ended burdensome regulations, sealed the border, unleashed our domestic energy sector, eliminated divisive DEI from our federal government, stopped the weaponization of government, cut waste, fraud, and abuse, reinstituted America First trade and foreign policies, and ultimately restored common sense. The president also signed the Lake and Riley Act into law, which ensures ICE will detain illegal aliens arrested or charged with theft or violence. As of today, the Senate has already confirmed 18 cabinet-level nominees, which is more than at this point under the Obama administration in 2009, and more than double the pace of the Biden administration in 2021. And today, we expect Kash Patel to be confirmed as the next director of the FBI. We are proud to
and he was confirmed.
Announce that the president will host his first official cabinet meeting here at the White House next Wednesday, February 26th. In just 4 weeks, President Trump has already hosted the leaders of Israel, Japan, Jordan, and India. And next Monday, the president will host France's President Emmanuel Macron. And on Thursday, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer will visit the White House as well. Today marks
1 month, baby. 1 month. Here's that picture of me and the press secretary at that. Let's see, where is it? I just posted it. It'll show up eventually, I guess, right? Oh, here it is. Boom. There I am right there with the press secretary. Yeah, the mainstream media melting down. Gary Franchi is in the press room, baby. Buckle up. Buckle up. Yeah, the party is only beginning. Let's continue this glorious report with so much happening. Okay, my goodness. Here we have the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. Now he's just been confirmed today. And let's hear what he's talking about with the budget.
To bring it down. Inflation ticked higher in January. I know you guys weren't in charge. But I'm curious, how much rope do you think you have on this issue? How long can it go before you really have to bring it down?
So I don't think it's a problem at all. Because we're reducing the budget deficit, you're going to see interest rates come down. Because we're making moves like the Constitution pipeline on the East Coast of the United States. Imagine, Governor Hochul's been blocking a pipeline that will halve the price of natural gas to New York and all of New England. So as those things come down, you're going to feel interest rates coming down. We're going to pump more oil, the price of energy coming down. Constitutional pipeline brings down the price of gas. All these things drive down and counter any sort of inflation that's out there. You're going to see a much better economy.
Okay, all right, but inflation
it's only beginning. It's all going to take root. Here we have a Wall Street Journal columnist, Abigail Shrier, illustrating how California liberals she knew were relieved when Trump won because they felt free to speak their mind. What?
I don't feel like I know. Were you surprised by the result? And what are your general feelings about a second Trump term? We'll start with Abigail.
Well, I don't make political predictions. I don't feel like I know who's going to win a particular election. And I was not someone who sort of formed an idea of who is certainly going to win. But if you were following the media, you were surprised because it really did look like it was going to be very, very close and that we wouldn't know for a while. We certainly were not expecting a decisive victory. And what's that going to mean? Well, I'll just say a few things. The cabinet that he is bringing in so far looks like a good one. It does. It looks like a bunch of people who, yes, a lot of them were canceled themselves. Some, like Jade Bhattacharya, for tremendous bravery and standing up to really the bullies who had taken over a lot of our institutions and federal agencies. And without discussing, every pick, in general, it looks like serious people who want to get back to the business of things that we know are better policies, making government more efficient, but also more responsive, and to stop covering up for the lies.
Yeah, it's over. The lies are being exposed. Okay. Eric Daugherty, it's February 20th at noon today. I will have been it'll be Trump's first full month in office on a grading scale of 8F. What is your review of his first month? I'll give the guy an A. Here we have more. This is from Real America's Voice. Trump is looking at putting IVF out there for free. Wow.
Of IVF. Did you see Trump's last executive order, the IVF thing?
Yes. Where are all the hysterical left-wing media groups that told us he was going to ban it? Where is the apologies tonight? Oh, nowhere.
Yeah, what people don't understand is an IVF, I have a lot of experience with this, so let's just say I have an intimate experience with IVF. And the gay community is probably the most prevalent user of IVF to have children, because obviously they can't have biological children the same way that a male-female couple can. And so IVF is not only a breakthrough, but he is looking to put it out there for free, for people to be able to use it for free. It costs a ton of money, no insurance. I can speak from personal experience. It's like $8,000 a pop, and they don't all work.
Wow. So that's happening there. Here's from the Daily Signal. Victor Davis Hanson on Trump's counter-revolution in Washington, discussing the misleading information about the first 30 days of the Trump administration's actions. Let's listen.
30 days. It hasn't even been. There's a big difference. This is a restoration. Let's use the word Trump restoration. We don't really appreciate what we've been through with 8 years of the Obama revolution and the 4-year more radical third term of Obama, using or employing the waxen effigy of Joe Biden. A revolution that we've experienced was a cultural, economic, political, social evolution. It was very similar to the French Revolution under the Robespierre brothers. We should remember what they tried to do. They changed the days of the week. They renamed things. They tore down statues. They went after the church. Does this sound familiar? This revolution that we've experienced, everything was up for sale. Everything was negotiable. We invented a third gender and rammed it down people's throats. We tore down statues. We said 1776 was no longer the foundational date. It was 1619. We changed the very mechanism that we vote. We went from 70% of the electorate voting on election day to 70% of the electorate not doing that, either through mail-in or early voting. That was a radical change that had no discussion. It was done by fiat. It was incredible. We looked
It's happening, folks. The revolution is here. And what do we have here? This is Paul Zipila. Ian Hersey, Alley, perfectly explains why DEI should be scrapped. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are three wonderful sounding words that are in fact a scheme to do the exact opposite. It's to divide and to create inequality. It's to revive racism. But Donald Trump is shutting that down. Here we have more. Let's see. This comedian, what's going on?
Speaking, before we get into this, I am a comedian speaking on behalf of President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. So, disclaimer, jokes may include such things as sarcasm, satire, poking fun, parody. insensitive remarks about current subjects to get an easy laugh. Let it be known that you've been warned. If you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, or a liberal who doesn't understand how jokes work, or in general, if jokes hurt your pussy, you're welcome to leave now.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic one. Here's Secretary Doug Burgum. What's he saying? He's saying, what POTUS has accomplished in our country in 1 month is remarkable. At Interior, we're carrying out his vision to achieve American energy dominance, 30 days of success, addressing national energy emergency, unleashing American energy, delivering emergency price relief for American families, and defeating the cost of living crisis, announcing President Trump's revocation of former outer continental shelf withdrawals, achieving prosperity through deregulation, unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential, and, of course, the Gulf of America. We have more. This is from Stephen Miller about President Trump's transformation
1 month.
of America.
No one in this country. Thank you all for joining today our 1 month celebration of the most historic opening to a presidency in American history. No president comes close to what Donald Trump has achieved over just the last 30 days. He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation, restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country has ever seen anything like it. And when you look at the consequentiality and the significance and the transformative nature of the actions he's taking, it truly defies description. For example, in just one area, this nation has been plagued and crippled by illegal discrimination, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. It's strangled our economy. It has undermined public safety. It has made every aspect of life more difficult, more painful, and less safe. He has ended all DEI across the federal government. He has terminated all federal workers involved in promulgating these unlawful policies. He has ended diversity, equity, and inclusion in all federal contracting. He has restored merit as the cornerstone of all federal policy, restored the full, fair, impartial enforcement of our federal civil rights laws for the first time in generations. And he has cracked down on individuals across this government and nonprofits who have engaged in illegal racial discrimination against the American people. This includes making clear to every educational institution in this country that ending diversity, equity, and inclusion, ending unlawful race discrimination is a precondition of receiving federal funds.
Yeah, baby. And it is only the beginning. 73 executive orders President Trump has signed. And America is on the Trump revolution, and it is beautiful to witness. Now, what we've witnessed in President Donald Trump's first month back in office isn't just historic, it's revolutionary. 73 executive orders, each one systematically dismantling the deep state's control over your life. The establishment said it couldn't be done. They said that Trump would be weaker this time around, and he would destroy democracy. Instead, he's proven to be far more effective than ever. From securing the border to confirming Kash Patel, from taking on the deep state to standing up for American workers and energy. That's right, Trump's first month has exceeded even his supporters' expectations. But here is the question we need to ask ourselves, and you can reply in the comments. If Trump has accomplished this much in just 1 month, what does the establishment have planned to try to stop him? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you check out our Mag Avengers collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's linked below. All right, let's check out. Wow. Whoa. Super chats are blowing up already. Are you kidding me? Let's check this out. Wow. Holy cow. Whoa. Whoa. You guys are on fire. Okay. Mary Crabtree has upgraded their membership. Juan Ruiz has gifted 20 Next News Network memberships. Wow, you guys can get a little sneak peek behind the curtain here. Wow. Amazing Trace, El Toro, Johnny L, Jenny Lynn, Celtic Grandma, Elise Wall, Shannon Coffer, Ann Blaze, pineapple water. I mean, it just keeps going. This list is insane. And then Juan drops $50 on top of that. Wow, he says, thank you for your hard work, Gary. Much love. MAGA for life. Well, thank you, Juan. Thank you so much. And then Noel Rodriguez dropping $49.99. A super sticker, a fan character jumping in the air in front of a big red heart. Holy cow. And then Silk Wolf dropping £5 sterling. Kash Patel confirmed. Who is the first to get nicked? Who is the first to get the collar felt? Be it Rhino or be it Lib. The brains are going to melt. I love it. That's awesome. And who is this? We got, Thomas McCullough. Tom, is that you? He has just become a member. What's up, Tom? Good to see you here. Tom was there with me at the White House, and was it yesterday? Yeah, it was like literally yesterday. I was just there. Oh my goodness. Me and Tom were in the East Room, recording everything and bringing you the footage that an angle you'd never see because of the way that things work over there. Anyway, we have Craig dropping $5. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. He says, thank you for all you do. And then he also gifted a membership as well. So nice of you, Craig, to do that. And David was the recipient. Wow, we're at $111.31 and 22 new members right out the gate of the show tonight. Let's keep going. We got more to get at. Today we got the DOGE. Is the DOGE next, Todd? Is that right? T2 DOGE 221? I guess it is. Okay, let's get going with the DOGE. All right. Something remarkable happened at CPAC yesterday, and it wasn't just Elon Musk wielding a chainsaw. Two of the most powerful men in America, Trump and Musk, just pointed to something that should concern every American, Fort Knox. And Trump said that he doesn't want to, when Trump said he doesn't want to open it and find the cupboards bare, Musk responded with a simple tweet that set off alarm bells in Washington. A live stream of Fort Knox would be fire. Why are they both suddenly talking about America's gold reserves? What do they know that we don't? Well, tonight we'll show you why this could be the biggest story of the century. Well, Musk and Trump expose what's happening in Fort Knox. There's something that the deep state doesn't want you to know. The global financial system is shaking. When two of the world's most powerful men start asking questions about America's gold reserves, smart money starts moving, and that's why I trust Noble Gold Investments with my financial future. They understand what's really happening. Don't wait for the Fort Knox audit to secure your retirement with gold. Visit nextnewsgold.com. It's linked down below to protect your wealth while you still can. That's nextnewsgold.com. Before it's too late, call that number, 877-646-5347. It is on the screen right now. So let's check out some of these highlights from the Elon Musk appearance at CPAC. And we have so much to get into, but I think this was just so clever. When, let's just listen to this.
Say like, people like sometimes like to end this war. Say like, yeah, I'm a bought asset of Putin. Yeah. I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it.
I like that.
Putin can't afford Elon Musk. And then here we have Elon Musk trolling the left on stage for their pathetic attacks.
That you're looking for paying right now, that the reason that you want to get into Social Security, that you want to get into all of these different, into Treasury and things like that, is that you're looking for personal information and you're trying to make more money.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody as rich as you that cared less about money in my life. Every time I hear a story about you, you're sleeping on a couch of some other guy in a city that you could buy the entire thing.
Yeah,
I don't think you care about money, do you?
No, actually, I mean, listen, like if I steal some Social Security, I can finally buy nice things.
Yeah.
These clipped out by Nick Sortor, who actually met at CPAC just last night, actually. We have this. Funds recovered by the HUD DOGE task force have been de-obligated to the U.S. Treasury. Listen to this. Oh, no, this is so they can be used to better serve the American people. Fiscal responsibility and transparency are back. We have more too. This was just 8 hours ago. Fake must-watch press secretary smacks down fake news loser Peter Alexander as he tries to run cover for the waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. Let's listen.
We're now hearing from constituents in some traditionally red districts right now complaining about what they say is the chainsaw approach and saying that it's been done very sloppily, the cuts to jobs and spending. How do you respond to that criticism?
I love how the media takes a few critics when the overwhelming response from the American people is support for what this administration is doing. If you look at the public polling, 70% of Americans, according to CBS, believe that President Trump is delivering on the promises he made. And there should be no secret about the fact that this administration is committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. The president campaigned on that promise. Americans elected him on that promise, and he's actually delivering on it. And this is something that Democrats promised they would do for decades. President Trump is just the first president to get it done.
Let me ask you about the fraud, if I can. We can all have our own opinion about what is wasteful spending, and Republicans have praised the president for cutting wasteful spending, but fraud, of course, is a crime. So have you turned over evidence of fraud to the Justice Department, and when should we expect to see those indictments?
It's a clever question. First of all, I think all Americans would agree that funding mastectomies in Mozambique is not something that the American people should be funding, or DEI programs. I think it's fraudulent that the American government has been ripping off taxpayers in this way. And we also do know there has been extensive fraud, particularly if you look at Social Security. In fact, according to an IG report from the Social Security Administration, there was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter, that the government has admitted to. So this administration is committed to finding even more of that fraud, waste, and abuse.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year, and it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just to be clear.
In one report.
And it was in one report over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money, far too much, and that's why this administration, why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the press who are clearly adamantly opposed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. But we know that American taxpayers at home who have been struggling with an inflationary crisis don't want their tax dollars going towards crazy DEI programs in countries overseas. They also don't like the fact that there has been $71 billion worth of fraud in Social Security and improper payments going out the door. That's a problem that needs to be fixed, and President Trump is going to fix it. That's your fifth question.
You gotta love it. She is just going scorched earth on them. And here we have Donald Trump bringing up the gold in Fort Knox once again. Listen to this.
Heard about Fort, and I'm going to do something. I'm actually going on this one. You know, all my life I've heard about Fort Knox. That's where the gold is kept, right? I heard Fort Knox. Oh, but you know, we're getting a little bit shaky. We're getting the yips on this stuff. Like, I want to find out. So we're going to open up the doors. I'm going to see if we have gold there. We want to find out. Did anybody steal the gold in Fort Knox? It's a pretty amazing place, but I'm going to actually go. We're going to open the doors. We're going to inspect Fort Knox. We want to make sure that we actually have, you know, 400 tons of gold or whatever the hell it is. It's a lot of gold. I don't want to open it and the cupboards are bare. Could happen. And I'm going to just...
Oh, we're going to find out the answer to the question we have all been waiting for. Is there gold in Fort Knox that hasn't been audited since the 70s? A lot of people believe that their audit is going to fail. And it's kind of curious that we're suddenly seeing tons of gold being shipped in from London right now. Are they trying to restock Fort Knox before Donald Trump opens up the cupboards? We're going to find out soon enough. And here is Elon Musk more talking about those DOGE dividend checks. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, it's the bureaucracy. That's exactly right. Let's talk about these DOGE dividend checks that everybody's talking about this week. And I know you tweeted out that you're going to... Does everybody want like a $5,000 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And the best part about it would be knowing where it came from. That's $5,000 that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Does it seem, I mean, have you talked
I mean,
to
that's like glorious. That's like the spoils of battle, you know?
I like that. Is there traction on that?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I talked to the president. He's supportive of that, and so it sounds like that's something we're going to do.
Yep.
So as we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So
yeah.
$5,000 checks for all Americans. Here we have Governor Kevin Stitt. This is the philosophical difference. Is it the government's money or the taxpayers? Listen.
Congress has got to, my question
on MSNBC.
People, if you think about it, we don't borrow money to donate to a charity at the end of the year. But right now, we're borrowing $2 trillion to do all this humanitarian work around the world. And I'm not saying it's not important, but we have to, Congress has got to balance the budget. We have got to get our spending under control.
0.4%. The key point is budget. I mean, you know that, don't you? You know that the USAID budget is a tiny amount of money.
But if
you're going to balance the budget, you need to attack things like Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, right? To have a real impact on America's spending, it's not going to be on the USAID budget.
I'm a businessman. If it's more than a ham sandwich, we're going to look at it. And so
looking at it is great.
When you think about billions of dollars, I think most Oklahomans are like, yeah, that's wasteful. Let's spend it on U.S. citizens. Let's spend it on infrastructure here.
Do you know?
Well, if we're borrowing money to spend it in Burma and around the world on certain initiatives, isn't that the president's job? Doesn't he get the right
to look at it?
But also to say, hey,
Congress make decisions.
But he's also the executive branch, and we elect a president. And if the president, if you can't be the executive of the executive branch, what type of government do we have, right?
See, they're complaining. Oh, it's only 1%. It's very small. Why do we care about just 1%? Because inside that 1% is billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And they are cutting it quickly. Let's see what else we've got here in the lineup. Here's Elon Musk with that chainsaw with Javier Milei. Check this out. Here he comes out on stage. Javier bringing him the chainsaw to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse out of the government. Beautiful to see right there. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Look at that. Yep. It is the Elon Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It is the Elon Chainsaw DOGE Massacre. That's what it is. You're witnessing it right there. I think we've got another clip here from something backstage. Here is DOGE designer. Yeah, there they are posing with the chainsaw backstage for everyone to see. Gotta love it. Yep, rip it up and rip it out. That's what Elon Musk is doing with the Doge boys. I'm here for every single minute of it. Here we have more. This is from Sean Duffy 24 hours ago. Over a decade and 16 billions of taxpayer dollars wasted with zero results on a rail project.
And no rail has been built. I want to address the protesters for a moment, if I could. I think they were chanting, build the rail. It's been 17 years and $16 billion. And no rail has been built. So if you want to go protest somewhere, if you want to shout at someone, go to the governor's mansion. Go talk to Democrats in the legislature who have brought us this crappy project. Right? So we've seen over the course of the last month what DOGE has exposed with regard to fraud, waste, and abuse. And we're done with it. And you know what? You're going to have people who love fraud, who love waste, who love trains to nowhere. But all of us up here, we do not love fraud, waste, and abuse. We are going to use the taxpayer money efficiently and effectively, and this is a boondoggle. I want to address...
Yeah, you see that? They are chanting for waste, fraud, and abuse. They want more of it. That just shows you how demented these people are. Here is our new SBA, our Small Business Administrator, talking about what she's going to do.
History. Look, we have the most consequential president in our history
And he's also one of the most consequential businessmen in American history. So President Trump understands the importance of small business, but he understands accountability in these agencies. And I am so grateful that we are moving quickly to implement the DOGE agenda to hold accountable these runaway bureaucracies within the agencies. And we're certainly going to do that at the SBA because we have the opportunity to unleash American prosperity under the America First agenda. And we can see that's already happening with President Trump's first month. But none of that's going to be possible if we're mired in unaccountable bureaucracy. And all you have to do is look as far as the Joe Biden administration, where he's cost small businesses and families $1.6 trillion in regulation. Yeah. So to the conversation you and Dagan were just having, unprecedented risks in spending and debt, but also the regulatory state that is strangling small businesses and small business formation. So I am so excited to work alongside DOGE. I've talked to Elon about it. I've talked to President Trump about it, and we're ready to go.
Look, let's go. Make small business great again. We've got more here. This is the Commerce Secretary confirming Trump is looking to abolish the IRS. This is not a drill. This is our new Commerce Secretary. Listen to the language he's using.
Well, and I'm telling you, you watch it, we're going to do it.
If you get savings from these DOGE cuts, are you going to give any of this back to the American people? We keep hearing about these DOGE dividends.
Well, think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump, and those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes. I mean, imagine a Democratic senator going against that. What planet are these people? And I'm telling you.
What planet are they on? I don't know. Here we have Ted Cruz talking about Elon not thinking just outside the box. He doesn't even know there is a box.
All right, you and I. Well, look, I think Elon Musk is very much a change agent. There are 8 billion people on planet Earth, and if you assume intelligence is distributed on a bell curve, Larry, you and I have both known some incredibly smart people. Someone is at the bleeding edge of that bell curve, and I think his name is Elon. I mean, it is, you spend time with him. Elon doesn't just think outside the box. He doesn't know there's a box. It's an incredible thing. Right. And I will say it is an incredible asset to President Trump to have someone like Elon willing to dive in night and day and pour his prodigious talents into fighting for President Trump's agenda. I'll also say there are an awful lot of Democrats and a lot of folks in the corporate media who are desperate to try to drive a wedge between President Trump and Elon Musk. They're doing everything they can to try to create friction. And as far as I can tell, those efforts have been an utter failure. The two are working hand in hand, and that's good for America.
Yeah. Yep, they keep trying, and they keep losing. Here's President Trump detailing insane instances of abuse, waste, and fraud by the Social Security Administration uncovered by DOGE.
Now, we're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's happening there is going to be one of the great potential scandals in history. On the program, there are over 4.7 million Social Security numbers from people from 100 years old to 109. Think of that. Now, over 100, there aren't a lot of people that make it. Hopefully, most of the people in this room will make it, but historically, you don't have thousands and thousands of people. But listen to this, 3.6 million people are on Social Security rolls from the age of 110 years old to 119. Do you think there are really that many? Those people are seriously old. But it gets worse. 3.47 million people are on Social Security from the age of 120 years old to 129 years old. 3.9 million people are on the age of Social Security from 130 years old to 139 years old. Now, the all-time record, I heard, is a woman who was 127 years old. That's the record. A woman from a certain country where they have actually people that live pretty long, actually. And she was 127 years old. That's pretty old, but we're topping her by millions of people. 3.5 million people from the age 140 to 149 years old. 1.3 million people are on Social Security from the age 150 to 159. And over 130,000 people are on Social Security over the age of 160 years old, okay? Including 1,039 people, think of it, over 1,000 people between the ages of 220 to 229. And one person between the age of 240 years old to 249. And the record topper, there is one person on Social Security who's 360 years old, which is approximately 110 years older than our country. So what we're trying to find out, and what we will find out, is are people being paid from all of these, you know, somebody pocketing 10,000 here, 10,000 there, what's going on? So we'll find that out pretty easily.
Oh, we're going to find it out. It is all becoming clear. Here we have MAGA Resource, Trump's bold plan / waste, sending American taxpayers 20% of the DOGE savings.
80% of President Trump's DOGE dividend could be a really big deal. And it's really simple the way it works. You take all the money that DOGE saves, 80% of it goes down to paying the national debt, 20% goes back to taxpayers in the form of a refund check. Why? They were lied to. They were cheated. They were defrauded. Their money was supposed to go to bridges in America and veteran health care, and instead it was sent overseas for climate operas in Colombia and DEI musicals in Myanmar. That's unacceptable. So the first reason you need a DOGE dividend is because you have to do right by the taxpayers. They deserve a refund check for the money that they sent to Washington that was abused. Number two, when you cut the taxpayer into DOGE, you incentivize them to report abuse, waste, and fraud that they see in their own lives in the federal government, and that in turn drives up the total savings that DOGE delivers, and in turn drives up the DOGE dividend check. Number three, it restores the trust between the taxpayer and the federal government. There's a contract there. The taxpayer pays their taxes and works hard, and the federal government delivers services. That contract has been broken, as DOGE has exposed. So now it's time to restore trust. What better way to do that than to apologize and actually deliver on that apology with a refund check? And then fourth and finally, because the DOGE dividend is contingent on that individual having paid federal income tax this year, it will actually incentivize labor force participation. If folks know that there's a $5,000 check coming next summer when DOGE wraps up its work, and they're on the sidelines now, that gives them every incentive to join the labor force, to start paying taxes, and in turn to get that $5,000 checks. Of course, the economic benefits of more Americans entering the labor force are enormous. Right now, 7 million working age men are neither working nor looking for work. So President Trump's DOGE dividend on every single count is a positive. And the best part is the inflationary risks just aren't there. Unlike the COVID stimulus checks, which were funded via deficit spending, borrowing money, these are funded exclusively with savings. For every $5 saved from DOGE, $1 goes to the taxpayer. So again, not funded by deficits, funded by savings. And then number two, think about who these checks are going to. They're going to households that have paid federal income tax. In fact, when you look at these types of households, when they get a $5,000 check like this, they save, they don't spend it. They use it to pay down debt. They use it to create a rainy day fund. They use it to reorganize their life and their finances. So very different from the COVID stimulus checks that went to everyone at a time when there were massive supply chain disruptions and a negative labor shock. President Trump's DOGE dividend is the icing on the cake. 77 million people voted for President Trump because they know he will deliver major government reform. This new administration, 1 month in, is off to an insane start, and we're going to keep the good work going. Honored to have Elon's interest in this DOGE dividend proposal by my investment firm, Azoria.
Wow. Wow. Folks, what would you do if you got a check for $5,000 from the DOGE dividend? What would you spend it on? Would you save it? Would you invest it? What would you do? I want to hear how you would use that money, that DOGE money that's due to us. Drop a comment below. So what we just saw at CPAC wasn't just Musk trolling the left with a chainsaw. It was a coordinated revelation about the state of America's gold reserve. So think about it. Trump announces he's going to Fort Knox for an audit. And within hours, Musk calls for a live stream. This isn't coincidence. The DOGE dividend announcement, the Fort Knox audit, the chainsaw demonstration, it's all connected to one central truth. The system isn't just broken. It might be completely empty. And now for the first time, we have two of the most powerful outsiders in America ready to expose it all. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. If they're this worried about us seeing inside Fort Knox, what else are they hiding from the American people? Share your theories in the comments below, and I want to know how you are going to spend that $5,000 check. And show your support for the Next News Network by checking out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's linked below. All right. A lot of activity going on. A lot of activity going on in the chat room and the super chats blowing up. We're at $131 here. And Juan Ruiz is just gifting everybody all kinds of memberships. I can't even keep up with it all. And I apologize if we're having some connectivity issues. We're working on that. We're back in studio now. So David was gifted a membership. Kingdom of Hescaria has just become a member. Gravely Don has become a member. Melchizedek has just dropped $20. Thank you for that, sincerely. Juan Ruiz giving another 20 memberships. Holy cow, man. We're at 44 new members, and 40 of them were gifted by Juan Ruiz. Holy cow. Bellatopia, Dusty Kent, Michael Hull, Lynn Haggart. I can't, Brian, because if you read my messages, my app is not working for me to do so. Well, I sent you a message and said that the app is not working, so I cannot reset or limit any of the anything. Well, I don't know if that's what the cause is here. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this. Bob Trump, Vibes DJ, Thurman Burbank, Linda, Mighty Mouse, Jill, Redstorm, Beth Smith, Element 47, Unique Rhythm. Wow, everyone. Killer Fuzz, Ironhead 3, Cajun 21. You guys are all going to get a unique opportunity to peek behind the curtain, and I think you'll enjoy it because it's totally unscripted. It's even more raw than this. It's all the behind-the-scenes stuff in the last 2 weeks that we've been doing here. All right, let's continue on. We're going to try to power through some of these connectivity issues, so let's move forward. Okay. For years, they told you it couldn't be done. The border crisis was unsolvable. That's what they said. It was just too complex and too entrenched. Remember that? Well, tonight we have the numbers that prove they were lying. In just 1 month, think about this. Border crossings have plummeted 93%, not a typo. Migrants are literally turning around and heading home. NGOs are laying off staff. Border facilities are empty. So how did Trump do what they said was impossible? The answer is simple, and it's one the media doesn't want you to hear. Now, speaking of border pressure, let's talk about pressure where it also matters, your blood pressure. And just as President Trump's policies have brought the border crisis under control, you too can take control of your health. While border crossings dropped 93%, you could see similar dramatic improvements in your blood pressure numbers with this breakthrough formula. It's what I use. The results are incredible. Visit boostwithgary.com to get up to 40% off this game-changing supplement. Take charge of your health like Trump has taken charge of the border. That's boostwithgary.com. Check it out. It's linked down below. All right. We've got this 24 hours ago. Joint Task Force Alpha has just made a huge arrest in Juarez, Mexico. Let's listen.
Number two, I understand you have some breaking news concerning my home state of Texas, which I'm particularly proud to hear.
I do, and the press release isn't even out yet. Joint Task Force Alpha that we elevated once we came in office. It's with the Department of Justice and the FBI, and we work hand in hand with Homeland Security. Christy Nome is awesome. Yep. We all work so well together. Joint Task Force Alpha just made a huge arrest in Juarez, Mexico. They were headed to Texas, to El Paso, human smuggling. Yeah, huge. That's why we do what we do every day. That's why these agents risk their lives every single day. It's human smuggling, and a lot of children, they're saying, are safer because of this.
Let me ask you a question. President Trump, and this has made headlines on what you were just talking about, we've designated these cartels as terrorist organizations. What does that allow you to do in your job? And Kash Patel now is the head of the FBI. What is that going to give you the ability to do and to go after them?
Well, Stephen Miller is doing a great job, as we are, right? Leading this effort with all of us, Mike Waltz at DOD. We all work so, Pete Hegseth, we all work so well together, and it gives us the ability, they are a terrorist group, and it gives us the ability to go after them, more ability, anywhere in the world, and treat them as terrorists. They are terrorists. If you're bringing fentanyl into this country and killing our kids, you're a terrorist, and we're coming after you.
Number two,
we are coming after you, and thanks to President Trump, pretty soon we could probably stop talking about illegal immigration altogether. Let's let real, legal immigrants come into this country. That's what we want. Bottom line. We've got more here. Let's continue. President Trump, this is 6 hours ago, just ended all federal taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants, redirecting billions back to Americans. Check this out.
For undocumented. So last night, President Trump ended all federal taxpayer benefits for undocumented immigrants in America, thus giving the money back to Americans. Now, I know, and you know, that the Democrats are going to call this racist, offensive, hateful. No, why should our country be more accommodating to these people than their own country? I can't go to Paris and Paris do more for me than they do for the people of Paris. So why is it that America must bend at the knee for these types of people? No, go right the fuck back where you came from. That's not hateful. You're wanted there because you're from there. You fly the flags of countries that you love so much, go back. If you're not flying the red, white, and blue, I don't want to talk to you. I don't give a fuck what happens to you. I am a patriot of America. I do not care what happens to anyone that does not love and support this country. That includes you, Democrats. So last night, President Trump...
American people are speaking up and speaking out. ICE has conducted a worksite raid. This is 8 hours ago. Gunther Eagleman at a bakery in Texas, arresting 8 illegal aliens and charged the owners with harboring and aiding illegal aliens. That's going to send a strong message. The owners were charged with 8 USC 1324. This is the same statute Tom Homan has referenced multiple times. Here is the charging documents against these people who are breaking the law. And here we have more from President Trump. This is from 6 hours ago in the state dining room at the White House. Listen.
And to ensure the American people expect every city and state to fully honor ICE detainer requests, and we hope they can, and to ensure the safe transfer of criminal aliens into federal custody for immediate removal from our country. You know, many of the countries said, we're not ever going to let them back. Under the Biden administration, I remember it's Venezuela. He's a tough guy. And others, they said, we're not letting them back. They're out of here, and you'll never bring them back. They're not coming into this country. And Biden said, oh, we can't bring them back. They won't take them. Well, we took them. And every single country now, you saw it with Colombia, you saw it with Venezuela. In fact, they actually offered to send planes to pick them up, and they'll pick them up so that we don't have to go through the expense of sending a plane. Is that correct, Marco? Even Marco couldn't believe that one. But they literally are sending planes to pick up these people. And they're rough people, and they're picking them up, and they're putting them in the planes.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Put them in planes. Here we have more. This is Rapid Response 47, 7 hours ago. NGOs have facilitated the invasion of our country by giving illegal aliens hotel rooms and plane tickets, have been laying off a lot of their staff after Trump sealed the border. Yeah, that gravy train is drying up.
Migrants now. What we do have are NGOs that help the migrants. They pick them up once they cross, get into the U.S. They would put them up in hotels, feed them, then buy them airplane tickets and get them off to their final destination all across the United States. Since there is not a lot of migrants now, this NGOs like Jewish Family Service, Catholic Charities, they're pretty much empty, don't have a lot of people to help out. So consequently, they have been laying off a lot of their staff, a lot of their volunteers, because, Daniel, they are just not the numbers that we were seeing 6 months to a year ago. And again, it's because they're just migrants are not coming across the border right now.
Yep, they're laying off all the staff at the NGOs who were milking the American taxpayer and facilitating the illegal invasion of this country. Here we have more from Rapid Response 47 from Fox News. Listen to what they're saying.
Across the number of border crossings have dropped so much under Trump that federal agents now outnumber illegal crossers. The El Paso sector, which saw a peak of 1,800 encounters per day back in 2023, now sees fewer than 100. Across the entire southern border, the number has dropped to an average of just 359 illegal migrants a day. Compare that to the 2024 average of nearly 3,000. The number of
Wow. It is all changing, folks. President Trump is the new sheriff. Here we have this. Rapid Response 47 in northern Mexico, the number of people in migrant shelters seeking to enter the U.S. has plummeted.
To Brownsville, south of the border, also there is a renovated hospital called Pumarejo. It's about 10-minute drive south of the Matamoros Bridge there that leads to Brownsville. And this facility had about 1,000 people there a year ago. It could have upwards of 2,000 people. There are 250 people there now, mostly from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras. I'm told very few Mexican families. These are people who had CBP One app appointments for asylum and were canceled after President Trump took office. Some of them hung on with hope that the appointments would be renewed. There was some rumors spreading. There was a February 9th date. Everyone thought that that was going to be the golden date. They were going to reinstate it. Of course, that date came and went. There were no appointments issued. So, you know, they're stuck. And some of them just don't know what they want to do, whether they want to get Mexican visas, whether they want to try to get jobs. Well,
looks like they're going to figure something out there. Borders closed, honey. Rapid Response 47, here's more. This is 8 hours ago. People that once sought to illegally enter the U.S. are giving up and heading home, says a reporter on the ground. Check this out, man. This is such good news.
Going back to the status, what we're hearing from the migrants themselves, as well as from the operators of these shelters, is that entire families are tired of waiting for going back to the status quo before Trump of asylum seekers being admitted at the border, had just picked up and got home. what we're hearing from the migrants themselves as well as from the operators.
Yeah, they are going home. Here we have from the Homeland Security official account on X in the first month of the Trump administration. POTUS and Secretary Noem deliver results to make America safe again. This is only the beginning. First month of President Trump declared a national emergency at the southern border, restarted the construction of the border wall to prevent illegal crossings, reinstating Remain in Mexico. Secretary Noem is changing the game. What's up, man? This is awesome. It's going to keep happening, folks. We've got more news. Wait. What's this? Jeannie Tare had a ride-along with Border Patrol in El Paso sector. Let's listen. This is a New York Post reporter.
The Post recently got the opportunity to ride along with Border Patrol agents in the El Paso, Texas sector, which spans both West Texas and New Mexico. In the span of just 4 quiet hours on the border, one migrant was apprehended and fought back tears as he was met by 6 burly federal agents who were likely to kick him back to Mexico within the same day.
Yep, and that's going to continue to happen. Here is Ben Bergquam of Real America News. This was 24 hours ago. I just saw him at CPAC. We had that report interview we did with him yesterday. Breaking news, heading out of the El Paso airport, and for the first time in the last 4 years I've been there, no illegals being flown into our country. Remember all the videos we saw from Ben and his team at Real America's Voice? What were they doing? They were covering all the airports were turned into migrant shelters all over the country.
No line of illegals flying out of El Paso, and almost didn't even realize it. No line of illegals. What a difference 3 weeks makes. Joe Biden, Democrats, this airport was full of illegals. President Trump takes office, no illegals. America first. God bless America. God bless President Trump. Prosecute all the traitors that allowed the invasion of America.
I can get behind that. I can certainly get behind that. Here we have Breitbart News calling it insane. Secretary of Veteran Affairs Doug Collins confirmed the Biden administration VA diverted manpower from veteran care to help illegal aliens obtain health care. Holy cow.
Taking up your time, invest. Did the VA, under the previous administration, move resources away from veteran care into benefits for illegals? Is there a way to, without wasting time, taking up your time, investigate that? Did it happen?
Yeah.
Or are we going to look into it?
I think what we've found is, as far as not maybe much invested, but is we actually took time away from what I'll call veteran care to process health applications and stuff is what we seem to find. And we're still looking into this. That's going to stop.
I know they weren't putting illegals at Walter Reed.
No. But there was use of resources that were going to help process this mass claim that could be better directed to, even if it was a few.
Some manpower.
That's what my understanding is, yes.
Manpower.
We're
not saying that
benefits, no.
Illegals were getting surgeries over Walter Reed.
That would be on different.
Manpower may have been used.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen so far. Again, without a complete picture, but that's what we've looked at and where those numbers were being using processing claim times and everything else. I would much rather either give that to the other agency or take those people back and process their own claims.
Okay. Did the VA
under the previous absolutely criminal to even think that was happening, but it doesn't surprise me from the Biden administration. Here we have Dustin Mills with some video. Border wall construction is ramping up in San Diego, Yuma, Tucson, El Paso. Promises made, promises kept. This is from Rapid Response 47. Illegals are no longer going to be able to flood your country. Here is video of the border wall back under construction. Finally, remember Joe Biden was selling off parts of that wall, the materials used to construct it, for pennies on the dollar. Just a slap in the face of Americans, making our country less safe, and of course, just fiscally irresponsible behavior, even selling it off. I mean, just a double whammy there. But now it is back in action, and we are here for it. Let's see, we have this. Okay, this is from the press conference that I was in attendance at This is the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, talking about what's happening with the cartels.
And MS-13. Today, it is officially the law of the land at the conclusion of the congressional notification process that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13, so 8 organizations in total, are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be treated as terrorists. This is a sea change in U.S. policy. And this means the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, along with the rest of U.S. law enforcement and the Department of Defense, are now operating in a legal reality where these cartels are recognized as terrorists. And there will be a whole of government effort to remove these terrorists from our soil and to degrade their ability to threaten or undermine any American security or sovereignty interests. Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%. And those few who have dared to cross are being either prosecuted or deported. They're either facing significant jail time for trafficking, smuggling, harboring, aiding, impeding, or they're being immediately removed from our soil. Either way, at the end of the process, they are going home. He's re-implemented Remain in Mexico, and he has obtained historic cooperation from foreign countries all around the world in accepting their deportees back. And he has used the United States military to fully seal the southern border with a historic deployment of both active duty and National Guard troops, resumed the building of infrastructure. He has opened up Guantanamo Bay, and he's using military aircraft to carry out deportations all across this country. And ICE is joining with ATF, DEA, and FBI to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. The criminals are going home. The border is sealed shut. America is safe, sovereign, proud, and free. We are a nation that everyone in the world understands all across this planet. You do not come here illegally. You will not get in. You will go to jail. You will go home. You will not succeed. This is the biggest and most successful change in any area of law enforcement that this nation has ever seen, and he did it in under 1 month. Thank you.
Do not pass go. Go directly to jail. Here we have more from the press conference. Rapid response. This was a day ago. Maybe I'm in that shot. Let's see. Okay, hang on. Wait. Okay, so if you look at the far left side by that exit sign, like in that section of the video, I'm actually standing right back in that corner with my with my phone camera up on my gimbal.
Deportations, and are there any plans to speed up the process?
Well, first of all, we all appreciate the encouragement from the media to deport as many illegal aliens as humanly possible. So thank you. And I will promise you that the full might of the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, and every element and instrument of national power will be used to remove, with speed, all criminal illegals from the soil of the United States of America, to enforce final removal orders, and to ensure that this country is for American citizens and those who legally belong in this country. We inherited an ICE that was completely shuttered. We inherited a Department of Homeland Security whose sole mission was to resettle illegal aliens within the United States of America. In 30 days, the president sealed the border shut, declared the cartels to be terrorist organizations, has increased ICE deportations to levels not seen in decades, and we are shortly on the verge of achieving a pace and speed of deportations this country has never before seen. Thank you.
Is the president happy?
It's happening. We are there for it, celebrating every minute. Here we have Project Veritas, Department of Education operating as a rogue sanctuary program for illegals, hiding secrets from DOGE and Congress on encrypted app. Okay, let's listen.
we would be like, if they actually knew, if Congress actually knew that we don't have that, there would be a lot of problems,
Why? Because
we would be like positioned as like being a sanctuary. You know, they have like sanctuary cities. We would be considered like a sanctuary program where we're spending federal dollars on illegal immigrants.
Like they shut off everyone's access to everything. They're like in the building looking through everything. I'm telling you, it is insanity.
It sounds like a bad movie.
Yeah. It's like Democracy Falling should be like the title of the movie. I mean, if you want to have a conversation with somebody, you do have to take it offline, but you're not supposed to. So.
I mean, you have to now.
Yeah. So everybody's that it's an app called Signal now. So.
And you're all on like video chat or like.
Yeah. So it's just like a text messaging app, basically, like a WhatsApp, but it's encrypted end to end.
Nice. So you can do business stuff on there.
We're not supposed to, but yeah.
So there you have it. The Department of Education working to undermine President Trump. And then we have this, a federal judge blocking the Trump administration deportation of 8 foreign nationals. Wow, I wonder why they would be doing that, undermining America. And here we have this. This is Scott Jennings on CNN.
Immigration law, I think that if you are trying to actively hire illegal immigrants, if you think that's best, if you are trying to game the system, if you are trying to help someone break U.S. federal immigration law, I think if we're going to have a true crackdown on illegal immigration in this country, it has to involve everybody who's participating in it. And I think you've raised a good point with this topic. And so employers and anyone else who's part of this pipeline, I think they ought to be put on notice. You got to play by the rule. Everybody has to play by the rules.
I don't want to hear that they're doing work that no one else will do. Talk to guys in the building trades, plumbers, contractors,
picking strawberries.
These building trades guys are being hurt.
I can't
by
wait.
Labor that shouldn't be here.
I can't wait until American women can't get blueberries for their smoothies. I cannot wait until there is a full crackdown on all small businesses, as if that's going to be the solution to the immigration problem. It is just going to put immigration-related issues further into the darker corners. We're not going to see them. It's just going to become even harder to solve the problem. It doesn't make sense to punish individuals and people when there is a broken system.
I mean, look, I think if you came here illegally and you did it, you broke the law, you have to understand it's a new day in America. And number two, I still think the case for total economic collapse, if we have some deportation, is totally overstated. I mean, it's obvious the priority is violent criminals and the second priority is people with existing deportation orders. I think it's the vast majority of what's going to go on, for the next couple of years. And I don't think that's going to have any impact on the economy at all.
But I wonder about just acknowledging the role.
No impact on the economy, despite what the media will tell you. Here's Secretary Kristi Noem talking about getting these scumbags off of the street, hunting them all down, locking them up and deporting them. Here we have 24 hours ago, border czar Tom Homan. These billions of dollars we're going to save. Listen.
I, for one, have been complaining about this for decades. I've been doing this 41 years. I started in 1984 in the Border Patrol. And Clinton and Obama said the right things. They talked the talk, but they didn't walk the walk because the agencies didn't really get into the misuse of these social services, social funding. And President Biden fell off the face of the earth with it. We're in the multi-billions of dollars. And 135 that's more than most Americans make a year in the salary. So it is a major driver. I mean, I'm doing this a long time. I know how many times you hit a load house full of illegal aliens waiting for payment to get released to the people who smuggle them in the country, and how many welfare cards and food stamps and social services envelopes you see all around these homes. This has been going on for decades, and don't thank God for DOGE, because look, these billions of dollars we're going to save that illegal aliens shouldn't be getting, they can help rebuild North Carolina. They can help rebuild California, where they're devastated by these fires. In Kentucky, there's a lot of things we can do for American citizens, the homeless vets, where these billions of dollars are illegally being given to people who aren't supposed to be here.
Yep, they shouldn't get a dime at all. Folks, there's a new sheriff in town, and I'm here for every minute of it. We've got this here. U.S. Immigrations and Customs. 1 day ago, ICE air operations transported 177 Venezuelan illegal aliens from Guantanamo Bay to Honduras today for pickup by the Venezuelan government, which returned them to their home country. Yep, there you go. It's happening, folks. Here's another one this week. This is the Florida HSMV. This week, they conducted a Gadsden County operation leading to 8 arrests from 58 traffic stops. 6 illegal aliens were identified. So it's continuing here. This is also 24 hours ago. In 1 month, POTUS Trump, daily border encounters have plunged 93%. It's happening right now, and we're here for every single minute of it. So what we're witnessing at the southern border isn't just a policy success. It's a complete vindication of everything Trump has been saying for years. ICE raids are up, illegal crossings are down, and for the first time in recent memory, federal agents outnumber illegal crossers at the border. Secretary Noem didn't just talk tough, she acted. Criminal aliens are being hunted down and deported. The NGOs that were facilitating the invasion, they're getting shut down. And the message is clear. America's borders mean something again. But here's the real question that nobody in the mainstream media dares to ask. If Trump fixed the border crisis in just 30 days, why did the previous administration let it spiral out of control for 4 years? What was the real agenda? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you check out our new merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Grab a hat, grab a shirt, and show the world you support real news. All right, let's check in. Any new action in the super chat world? Wow. Juan Ruiz is on fire today. What is going on? $20. I agree with him. I'm a Mexican American, and I will fly my American flag high. Amen, Juan. Let's check in on the main chat room real quick before we get into our next segment. Turn IRS. IRS is greater than nice. Let's see. We got Tom Holman. I refuse to get fruit from the grocery store, says Lynn. I'm disabled, but I'll pick blueberries if we can't get them illegals back to their home. Let's see. What's up with you people? The kids are priority. They shook off the bush into a type of gutter. What? Send Tom Holman to Tucson, please, says Joyce. Jesse says, we are so back. I saw a few Blackhawks over my town today, says our Boyd. America, baby. The car wash shut down because everybody quit. All right, folks, we have got some more news to get to. Let's jump into our fourth topic of the day. Where are we? Topic 4. Here we go. Something unprecedented just happened in Washington, and the deep state is about to cash in their retirement papers. Kash Patel, the man who exposed the Russia hoax, is now running the FBI, and wouldn't you know it, within hours of his confirmation, Mitch McConnell, the longest-serving Senate leader in history, suddenly announced his retirement. Interesting timing, isn't it? Patel is already reviewing the certain client list, demanding answers about Ukraine money and promising to investigate every FBI agent who targeted parents at school board meetings. The swamp creatures aren't just worried, they are racing to the exits before cash comes a-knocking. Well, the deep state world is getting colder by the minute under Kash Patel's leadership. You don't have to feel the chill. Just as Trump's administration is bringing heat to corruption in Washington, this revolutionary portable heater brings warmth to any room in your home. It's what I use to stay comfortable while cutting my heating bills. As Kash investigates where your tax dollars went, take control of your energy costs with this little device. Visit staywarmnow.com for up to 60% off and free shipping. Don't let the establishment freeze you out. That's staywarmnow.com. Okay, this just in 2 hours ago, we have Kash Patel's full remarks after being sworn in as the FBI director. Let's listen to this.
Community, the greatest nation. First and foremost, we were just with President Trump, and I just want to thank him. I know he's not here in the room right now, but what a ride we have been on, what a courageous warrior and leader he has been, and the faith and trust he has put in me to lead the FBI is the greatest honor that I'll ever have in my life. And to General Bondi, that sounds pretty freaking cool. Pam, you're my sister, you're my mentor, you're my friend, you're my boss, and the confidence you have placed in me, I will never violate the trust. The men and women of the FBI will be led under your leadership through one standard, the Constitution. So thank you for entrusting me, Pam. Oh man, this is effing crazy. So obviously you don't get here alone. You know, I'm here because of God. I'm here because of my family, and I'm here because of my friends. And you're literally in this room because you made it happen. My sister, Nisha, and my nephew, Aryan, flew in from London just to be here. My beautiful girlfriend, Alexis, is here. Yes, I agree. My aunts and uncles are here. They've come from all over the country. I am living the American dream. And anyone that thinks the American dream is dead, just look right here. You're talking to a first-generation Indian kid who's about to lead the law enforcement community, the greatest nation on God's green earth. That can't happen anywhere else. To the senators and the men and women of the United States House of Representatives, you placed an enormous trust in me, an enormous leap of faith, one that I didn't know that I could possibly earn back, but I'm going to spend every single day on this job doing so. The fact that you placed the confidence you did in me has inspired me to reach new heights at this job. I promise you the following. There will be accountability within the FBI and outside of the FBI, and we will do it through rigorous constitutional oversight starting this weekend. Yeah. This is great. We all used to live in the same freaking house. Yeah, I don't have any prepared remarks. I wish I could go around the room and, tell a story about how each and every one of you have magically touched my life to put me in this position. What a roller coaster ride it has been. I do know this. We are in this room together because you guys have a love of country that is truly inspirational, and it bleeds out everywhere we go. And if you look around this room, you see civil servants, you see warriors, you see attorneys, you see great husbands and fathers and mothers and wives. And we're fighting for the same thing, our future, our children, this guy. And there is no greater mission. I wish I had more words to thank every single one of you, but every time I look at every single one of you, you guys know the stories you can't tell. More importantly, the ones you can. This is, Pam and I were just talking in the back, and we were like, do you believe this? Like, we were on the campaign trail together. We were attorneys in the first administration together. Now we're here. She's the Attorney General. I'm the director of the FBI. Like, this is insane. And I don't really fully believe it yet. I hope to. But believe it. I'm just not here without you guys. And look, I know the media's in here. And if you have a target, that target's right here. It's not the men and women at the FBI. You've written everything you possibly can about me that's fake, malicious, slanderous, and defamatory. Keep it coming. Bring it on. But leave the men and women of the FBI out of it. They deserve better. And for those of you who think that there's going to be a two-tier system of justice, not with Attorney General Bondi. There's a singular system of justice for all Americans, and there will be accountability. And the reason that this mission is so important is simply the following. 100,000 people last year raped. 100,000 people died of CCP fentanyl overdose and heroin. 17,000 homicides. Violent crime is out of control. We cannot have a United States of America where that is acceptable, where someone dies every 30 minutes, where someone ODs every 7, where someone's raped every 6. That cannot be allowed to continue, and it will not be allowed to continue. Our national security mission is equally as important. Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here or abroad will face the full wrath of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And if you seek to hide in any corner of this country or any corner of this planet, we will put on the world's largest manhunt and we will find you. And we will decide your end state, not you. We will uphold the Constitution. We will uphold ourselves to the Constitution. The men and women at the FBI, I have your back because you have the backs of the American people. You will be held to the same high standard. Any deviation from that standard will not be tolerated at this Federal Bureau of Investigation. The men and women at the FBI who make us safe deserve better, and they are going to get it with our leadership and your support. God bless America, and God bless every one of you. I love this country.
Now release the files. 2 hours ago, Rapid Response 47, the press secretary. We really have a great team at the White House. Oh, yeah, because I'm there now. No, the people working in that press room are absolutely amazing. They have treated me so fairly, so kindly. My wife, Angie, and Tom McCullough, super responsive to any email request I send in. Literally, within minutes, I get a response. It's an amazing experience that I'm happy to share with you. But I can tell you this, that some of the other press members in that press room, not too happy that Gary Franchi is there now. Let's check in with the press secretary.
Meeting with that, how do you get the strength to just get through every single day? My faith in God, absolutely. Waking up every day and just remembering I'm blessed, and we're all blessed to live in this country and to have a president who is looking out for us every day, family support, and our team at the White House. We really have a great team. And you talked about how the media tried to cause so much division within the White House in the first term. They're trying to do it, but I think they're failing. They are not getting away with it because we truly have such great camaraderie. And the people I work with every day, they're friends and we're together. 18 hours a day. So you gotta like who you're around. But we truly are having fun and we're getting work done. And again, the president is leading with that positive, happy warrior attitude, and it transpires to the rest of the White House every day.
Yeah, shout out to Mika, Olivia, and Elizabeth, and Allison, and all the team over there. Harrison, you guys are doing great work, and I'm glad to be able to enter that room and deliver the real news for the American people. We've got more. Let's continue. Kash Patel, this was 53 minutes ago, sworn in to office as the 9th director of the FBI by Attorney General Pam Bondi. And, of course, Kash Patel welcomed like a conquering hero. Wow. Big things are happening. Here is President Trump 3 hours ago giving praise to Kash Patel.
I think the agents are very happy about Kash. In fact, the agents led the charge for Kash. One of the reasons I loved Kash and wanted to put him in is because of the respect the agents had for him. I think he'll go down as the best ever at that position. And it turned out he was very easy to get approved. I was not sure. He's a tough guy, strong guy. He has his opinions, and I wasn't sure. He turned out to be a very he went very smoothly. I don't know if he's in the room now. He's going to be in the room very shortly. Where is he? I'm saying the right thing. About him. I better be careful. I will say this about Kash, and Howard understands this. One of the reasons that I wanted him is because the agents love this guy and they respect this guy, and this is what they wanted. And even somebody like Trey Gowdy, who's a very good guy, but known as somewhat of a moderate person, he came out with a statement that was so incredible. He said, Kash is an incredible person. People don't realize it. When he said that, there was no doubt left. It was really a big statement made by somebody that's respected and on the moderate side. And I will tell you, I think Kash is going to go down as maybe the best ever when it's all said and done. So I'm glad he's willing to do it. Thank you, Kash.
Kash is king. Oh, my goodness. Here are some of the moments from the hearing. Kash Patel confirmed it's a rough day to be Adam Schiff. Listen.
Associating with now, you're being considered for director of the FBI. And here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
you
my entire life,
it in song,
and I did not make a single dime out of it.
In song. Well, let me.
How about you ask them if I have their backs, and let's see about that answer.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Patel. Let me ask you this: if an FBI director promoted a song of people who sprayed pepper spray in the face of an FBI agent, would you say they were fit to be director?
Mr. Schiff?
Yes or no? Would they be fit to be director?
I am fit to be the director of the FBI.
If you were the FBI director and you promoted a song with someone who beat an FBI agent with a pole, would you say you were fit to be FBI director?
Mr. Schiff, I am fit to be FBI director based on my 16 years of government service.
And yet you did all these things, Mr. Patel. You can say, oh, I support law enforcement. I decry violence against law enforcement. You could say all that. It's what you did, Mr. Patel, that matters. It's what you did that matters. Well, let me ask you about something else that you did, Mr. Patel. Did you claim that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago? Did you claim that?
In what proceeding?
To the public, ever. Did you tell anyone that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago?
From publicly available information, President Trump issued a declassification order on a variety of materials.
No, I'm just asking you, did you tell the public, did you tell anyone, did you make the claim that Donald Trump had declassified those hundreds of classified documents that were Mar-a-Lago? Did you make that claim publicly?
From my best of my recollection, I said President Trump issued a declassification order to a large number of documents.
Yeah, and were you present when he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents?
Senator, I'm not saying he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents. I said President Trump declassified a large number of documents, and I would hope this committee and the rest of Congress would want to get those documents to the American people.
Mr. Patel, before a president or anyone declassified documents, wouldn't you want to know whether making them public would cause sources to be killed? Wouldn't you want to know that before you just declare they're all declassified? Wouldn't that be the responsible thing for a president to do?
It was the responsible thing for us to do. That's why we declassified the Nunes memo.
And did Donald Trump declassify?
And no one died.
And did Donald Trump ever ask any of the agencies who produced those documents whether declassifying them would put people's lives at risk? Did he ever do that, to your knowledge, Kash Patel?
I don't know that he didn't. Do you?
No, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? So let me just ask Mr. Chairman, if you would, Mr. Patel has said he has no problem. He would support the release of his grand jury testimony in that case. I would ask you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, to join me in requesting, with Mr. Patel's approval, the release of those grand jury transcripts. And I would also ask Mr. Patel whether you support the release of Volume 2 as it pertains to you of the special counsel's report. Any reference to you in the report, to your truthfulness, will you support the release to this committee of those sections of Volume 2 of special counsel's report?
I support following the law and providing whatever information the law requires.
Well, you said to the Wall Street Journal that you support transparency. Here's your chance, Mr. Patel. You support release of that to this committee, yes or no?
Your time's up. Before
you're being
your time's up. Your time is up, Adam Schiff. Oh yeah, here's more from that explosive hearing.
To the parents, do you think it is appropriate for the FBI to be sending agents, including counterterrorism agents, to the parents of children who went to school board meetings and asked about critical race theory in their schools, asked about the school's masking policy during COVID? Should those parents be treated as domestic terrorists?
Parents who have the courage to ensure their children are taught what they feel is right, and those who have the courage of their convictions to go houses of worship, in my book, will never be domestic terrorists.
I'm delighted to hear you say that. You're familiar, I am sure, with this memorandum issued by the Attorney General, the last Attorney General, Merrick Garland, directing the FBI and other law enforcement agencies to look into parents who went to these school board meetings. And we know from whistleblowers who've come forward to this committee and given us the evidence that, in fact, the FBI opened multiple cases against multiple parents across the nation, I believe, including in my home state of Missouri. Another gross abuse, incredible political power brought to bear against everyday citizens. Why? Because they went to a school board meeting that they're paying for and asked about what their kids were being taught. Once again, I can't imagine, I couldn't have ever thought this would happen in the United States of America. Will you find out who was involved in this policy within the FBI, who agreed with it, who implemented it, who encouraged it? Will you find out that, Mr. Patel? Will you do an internal investigation? And will you make clear that those who supported this policy are appropriately disciplined? And will you make clear that the FBI will never do something like this again?
If confirmed and pursuant to your congressional request, absolutely, Senator.
Thank you.
There's literally a new sheriff in town. And they are freaking out over what is about to happen. So we have Kash in and we have McConnell out. Let's get to that segment. Mitch, bye-bye, Mitch. Just announced 24 hours ago, Rhino Senator Mitch McConnell will not seek re-election to Congress. Yeah, remember when he froze up on camera?
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Oh, man, it's so sad. So sad. Or this moment here. So sad, so sad. And of course, you know, him getting wheeled around and when he fell in 2014. I mean, I'm glad that he's going to retire. He needs to go spend time with his family. And we need this rhino out. We don't need anyone like him continually pushing back. I mean, he voted against Trump's nominations, pushing back against the America First agenda. It's time for Mitch McConnell to go. One day ago, Daniel Cameron says he will run for the Senate in Kentucky following Mitch McConnell's retirement. Cameron is a pro-life champion and former state attorney. So we're looking at already a race shaping up for that seat. Here's more on Daniel Cameron running for U.S. Senate in Kentucky after McConnell's announcement. Cameron's a former attorney general. He was a Trump 2024 surrogate. He also supports Kash Patel's nomination for FBI, which, of course, Mitch McConnell did not. So McConnell not seeking re-election. Goodbye, Mr. Rhino. Alex Jones also reporting that Mitch McConnell announces he will not seek re-election. I want to point out this one here. This is Nick Sortor. What's up, Nick? We met at CPAC. Great to meet you. We've got this. Mario Nafal. The Senate gives Mitch McConnell a standing ovation as he announces his retirement.
Allowed to applaud. Ask unanimous consent that the members and staff and spectators in the gallery be allowed to applaud for a period not to exceed 30 seconds.
Is there objection?
And there he is getting applauded. Were they applauding because they were celebrating that he was leaving or celebrating his career? I don't know. I'd like to think it was the former. Here we have Rhino Mitch McConnell gives a retirement speech from Benny Johnson 24 hours ago.
They depend in turn on the credibility of America's commitments to friends and the strength of her threats to enemies. In turn, the safety and success of the men and women who volunteered to serve this great nation in uniform depend on the work we do here to ensure that enemies think twice before challenging them, and those enemies never face a fair fight. Thanks to Ronald Reagan's determination, the work of strengthening America's hard power was well underway when I arrived in the Senate. But since then, we've allowed that power to atrophy. And today, a dangerous world threatens to outpace the work of rebuilding it. So lest any of our colleagues still doubt my intentions for the remainder of my term, I have some unfinished business to attend to. They depend on...
So Mitch McConnell is out. Kash Patel is in. And let's see Steve Bannon reacting to it now on Real America's Voice.
Caroline Wren over here is reporting Senator McConnell is retiring.
Yeah, Senator Mitch McConnell is retired. It's Christmas Day. Goodbye, Mitch. Goodbye, Mitch. Goodbye, Mitch. We hate to see you go. Shoot him, for he's a jolly good. May hold a. We're not like that here in the war room. Yes, we are.
Caroline Wren over here is reporting Senator McConnell is retiring.
They were definitely celebrating. I did run into Steve Bannon while I was there at CPAC as well. Great to see him again. But folks, the confirmation of Kash Patel isn't just a change in leadership. It's a declaration of war against a deep state apparatus. With 3,100 sheriffs backing him and Trump's full support, Patel isn't just promising reform. He's promising a complete overhaul. And McConnell, after decades of controlling the GOP from the shadows, he's suddenly stepping aside. The same day, Patel starts reviewing those certain lists. McConnell announces his retirement. And now Daniel Cameron, a Trump ally, is stepping up to run for the seat. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. How many more retirements will we see now that someone who actually wants to expose corruption is heading the FBI? What are they afraid that Kash Patel might find and release? Share your predictions in the comments below. And make sure you check out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Make sure you get one of these Next News Network hats. Show the world where you get your real news. All right, let's check in on the Super Chats. Anything to speak of here? Nothing at the moment, but we are still rolling right along. Let's continue to take a look. David Gray says, Bannon needs to chill with his stories. Politician Terms Act. says Jerome. Typing one-handed, says overeducated. Graham is taking himself into investigation. I think the whole machine was basically corrupt. It's amazing anyone honest could survive there. Don't tread on me. What did they say? I used to watch Bannon all the time, but he feeds into the drama too much. Raiders of the CPAC stage. Yeah, did you guys see the video that I posted of me walking around behind the scenes at CPAC? I literally walked right up on the stage with my camera. I was on the CPAC stage, and they're like, "What are you doing here? Who are you with?" I'm like, "Next News Network, just showing everybody what's going on. You're not supposed to be up here." I'm like, "I'm media." I'm like, whatever. Go watch it. It's funny. Great stuff there. Okay, let's continue moving right along to our next topic of the evening. Where are we at? Oh, yes, the historic moment of my very first report. You guys are going to see it here. I posted it to X, got over 6,000 hits on X. Well, you're going to see it here now. I'm really excited for this. Oh, man, being able to report directly from the White House, guys. Let's go. I was there in the White House when something extraordinary happened this week, something CNN and MSNBC refused to show you. The room was packed with hundreds of Black Americans celebrating President Trump, but that's not the whole story. I watched firsthand as Trump announced the National Garden of American Heroes would feature statues of Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and Muhammad Ali. I saw the media's faces when he praised Tim Scott as the father of opportunity zones. And, of course, they look terrified. Why? Because what I witnessed completely destroys their narrative. And tonight I'll show you what really happened. And standing in the White House this week, I saw how Trump is energizing the Black community. Now, let me tell you how to energize your home's efficiency. While the mainstream media wastes energy pushing false narratives, this breakthrough technology helps you stop wasting power. It's what I use to cut my energy costs while the elites try to raise them. Don't let the power companies drain your wallet like the media drains the truth. Visit don'twastepower.com for a special 65% off discount. Take control of your energy bills today. That's don'twastepower.com. It's linked below. All right, now, this is the moment that I filed my very first report outside the White House. Outside the White House. Tonight, something remarkable happened inside that building right behind me, the White House, something the media won't tell you. That's right, the President Donald Trump, just 1 month into his historic second term, hosted a Black History Month event. Let's just say the room was packed with Black Americans who aren't buying the lies anymore. Because here's the truth. The Democrat Party for decades has taken Black voters for granted. That's not me saying it. That's exactly what we heard today from the people in that room. And why wouldn't they feel that way? Think about it. Trump's been in office just 31 days. And what has he done? He secured the border, slashed regulations, cut costs at the pump, re-energized American industry, and delivered real economic results. Meanwhile, the Democrats, well, they spent 4 years gaslighting the American people while letting inflation skyrocket and pushing radical policies that nobody asked for. But what happened inside wasn't just about policy, it was about something deeper. We saw Black Americans standing up, looking around the room, and realizing they are not alone. One speaker said, and I quote, "We vote in our best interest now," and that interest, a secure border, lower taxes, and a leader who actually delivers. And one of the most striking moments, David Harris Jr., a longtime Trump supporter, Donald Trump called him up. He took the mic, he called out the mainstream media's manipulation, saying he left the Democrat Party and now has his own show on Newsmax to expose their lies. Another speaker made it clear Trump's reelection wasn't just political, it was divinely ordained. And then there was Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers of all time, stood alongside President Trump at this event. Just a few years ago, Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and today he was back standing proudly with the man he calls his friend. So as the media continues their meltdown, desperately trying to pretend this isn't happening, remember what we saw here today. Black voters aren't just leaving the Democrat Party, they are running, and they are not looking back. I'm Gary Franchi reporting right outside the White House. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. Tonight, something in the beginning, it is indeed. Let's get to some of those moments that I recorded. I was standing right next to, literally, like I was just feet away from President Trump. Caitlin Collins was standing right in front of me, like literally, like right in front of me. The press pool photographers, doing their thing, playing hardball because, they're the legacy media. And some of the reporters were mocking some of our camera equipment until we actually put it into play and showed them that we can go over their heads to get the truth to the American people. Like literally, we had a camera on a stick so high, we were over the press pool, and there's nothing they could do about it. Yeah, baby. Check this out. This is President Trump unveiling his plans for a national statue park.
A statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be. Now it's between various states.
Now, I just want to point out that this is actually footage that I recorded right there in the East Room of the White House.
A statue park. It's going to be a statue park. It's going to be unbelievable. We're picking the final sites now. It's between various states that want it very badly. We'll honor hundreds of our greatest Americans to ever live, including countless Black Americans, icons. The garden will predominantly feature incredible women like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, and Coretta Scott King. And I will showcase extraordinary. It will be something very extraordinary. It's going to be producing, we're going to produce some of the most beautiful works of art in the form of a statue from men like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Jackie Robinson, what a great athlete that was, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, he's not a bad athlete. What do you think, Muhammad? Not too bad. And the late Kobe Bryant. People love Kobe. A statue park. It's going to be.
Yeah, so you could see like some of the press guys right in front here. Like I had the shot, and they purposely try to like block your camera and ruin your shot and get in your way, because that's just what they do. These are the entitled pool photographers. And, oh, you're not supposed to be standing here. Well, guess what? I am standing here. Buckle up, guys, because I'm coming back. And I'm sure I'll be singled out even more. Here we have President Trump praising Senator Tim Scott. Some more footage that I shot exclusively for you guys.
Americans who inspire all of us very much so. The theme of this year's celebration is African Americans in labor. And we want to thank all of the Black workers, construction workers, and every other worker. They do a job like nobody can do. And we just thank them very much for their contribution, Tim. The contribution you've made, Tim, is incredible. Opportunity Zone, so many people, so many. He's the father of Opportunity Zone. I'm just the son. He's the father, because he came into the White House, the Oval Office, with this idea, and it's probably the #1 economic development project ever in our country. And I want to give Senator Tim Scott credit for it. Good job, Tim. Who inspire all of us.
I want to point out too. One of you guys mentioned that Tiger Woods looks tired. When he walked out with President Trump, I was shocked. I didn't know he was going to be there. We did have some friends there who were in the audience. Pastor Corey Brooks, John Anthony, AM 560 was there. But when Tiger Woods walked out, he did I don't know. You can see it. Like President Trump gave him an opportunity to speak. He gave him the microphone, and he really didn't say much. I was kind of disappointed. But then, of course, others came to the podium when President Trump called on them, like David Harris Jr. And I'm happy to say we were the first ones to get this clip out for the American people. We got it out before any of the press, any of the media. I literally recorded it at that very moment and uploaded it to X within seconds of it happening. I think I got it up by at least 2 to 3 hours before the mainstream press did. Talk about a scoop, right, boys?
Across the finish line.
Going up, that's no good. Come on.
Are you kidding me? Mr. President, it's been an honor of a lifetime to support you, to try to wake up as many people to the lies of the Democrat Party and the nonstop manipulation of the mainstream media. That's why I now have my show on Newsmax, so I can champion you. And I'm thankful that we've been able to champion him and get him across the finish line for another amazing 4 years. And let me say, I know God has chose you. He anointed you for this position. He kept you alive so you could be here today. And we pray for that. We pray for you. We continue to pray for you. And we're thankful for your service and your sacrifice. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, honor. God bless you.
From day one. I like those guys from day one. Going up, that's no good.
And then you can see again, there's a wide shot of where I was standing, right behind the press pool. Caitlin Collins standing right in front of me. Let's see what else have we got for you guys. We did upload the full press conference as well. Here is, you can check it out. It's on the channel. Here we have, this is from Fox talking about, this is Sage Steele. She was there at the event as well.
Of Black, it was a very positive environment, and I am trying to post on my Instagram, but my Wi-Fi doesn't work. It was so cool when Tiger and the president walked in, and I took the camera, Will, and I just panned behind me because there's hundreds and hundreds of Black Americans there who actually don't care about race. They're just here at the White House because they love America and love what this president is doing. So it was almost like an emotional scene. It was a very positive environment, and I...
Emotional indeed. We've got more coverage of that event here. Here's some of the pool footage. President Trump discussing what he has done. Let's see here.
In 4 weeks, our new administration has achieved more than most administrations achieve in 4 years. We brought our country back. It's 4 weeks. Today is our 4th week. The end of the week. We are now starting our 5th, and I think we've done more in 4 weeks. Well, certainly than the last administration did in 4 years. They actually went negative. They actually went in the wrong direction. Together, we're going to be fighting long and hard for Black Americans and all Americans. We're going to be fighting for all Americans. In 4 weeks.
You know, as I look at this footage here, I'm just like, you know, our camera shot was even better than theirs. Here's another shot from one of the pool cameras talking about what we just played for you. My shot of President Trump talking about the National Guard of American Heroes. Here he is talking about 7-time Mr. Olympia.
Phil Heath. And we're also joined by 7-time Mr. Olympia. I want to see this guy. Phil Heath. Where's Phil? Phil Heath. I don't want to compare my muscles. Here he is. Thank you, Phil, very much.
Let's see what else have we got for you here. Oh, check this out. This is great.
The last administration tried to reduce all of American history to a single year, 1619. But under our administration, we honor the indispensable role Black Americans have always played in the immortal cause of another date, 1776. We like 1776. In the very first skirmish of the Revolutionary War at Lexington Green, an enslaved Black man named Prince Estabrook. You know Prince Estabrook? Yeah. Answered history's call and fought as the Minutemen alongside the other patriots of the very small Massachusetts town. Couldn't protect itself, but they did a good job. Prince was wounded in the early morning battle, becoming not only the first African-American soldier to fight in the Revolution, but among the very first Americans to spill their blood. One of the first in the nation to spill blood in that very, very tough time. Soon Estabrook joined the Continental Army and ultimately won his own freedom along with that of his fellow Americans. His legacy will endure, and we're very proud to honor him today. It's a very important day in our country, and we honor him.
So many awesome things happening. Let's take a look at this guy. He wants to know why the fake news didn't cover President Trump hosting Black History Month.
See, you know, it's interesting. It's currently Black History Month, and CNN nor MSNBC are even reporting that Donald Trump is hosting a bunch of black intellectuals and black enlightenment. He's actually throwing a whole event at the White House right now, celebrating people like Frederick Douglass, who he loves to mention all the time, Martin Luther King, Tiger Woods is there, and even Kodak Black is there for whatever reason. Rod Wave is there. Whole bunch of celebrities and people that have passed on, like Martin Luther King. He's talking about giving a statue. And they're not even reporting this? It's almost like they're doing this on purpose. I don't know.
I mean, did you see Caitlin Collins' report on this? I don't remember seeing Caitlin Collins' report on this, but there's my report on this, right? Here we have Rob Smith. I saw him in the press room after the event, and he was wearing this, and I'm like, man, I know this guy, I know his face, and I just couldn't place it at the moment. But here's his experience.
But I didn't give up.
The Trump administration is so racist. I've been invited with some other black people to a Black History Month event at the White House. You see how racist they are? Let me show you what this looks like. Let me expose all of this racism.
I was ready to give them a piece of my mind. I didn't see the racist here, but I didn't give up. This black man couldn't help me find the racist. He just kept talking about running for Senate. I see this nice lady on the news a lot, but she couldn't help me find any either. Yeah, these people were no help. The band just kept telling me they were there to play music. I saw a lot of really good food, and it seemed like some plot to poison all the black people there, so I stayed away. They made this lady sing and put her in a gown. Must be a huge diversion. None of these people could help me find the racists, and this is starting to get frustrating. Man, these cases look good, but nope. Got to stay focused on finding racists. They keep telling me this guy is the biggest racist, but he just kept talking about great black Americans and Black History Month. Then he brought these guys out and just kept talking about how great they are and hugging them, which seemed super weird for such a huge racist to do. Since I couldn't find any racists, I just decided to take pictures.
The Trump administration is so racist.
Oh, man, that was absolutely hilarious. Oh, boy. An amazing event there. Glad to be there to cover it and bring you the real behind the scenes stuff, tell you what's really going on there. Here's when Tiger was there.
More comfortable.
Tiger,
would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger?
Yeah, see, this is when he's like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I don't. Maybe he's got stage fright or something for public speaking. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger? He doesn't. He's much more comfortable. Tiger.
Hey, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and to be honored here with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you too. Go right over here. Thanks, Tiger. Would you want to?
So there you have it. Should we play it again? Yeah, we got to do it. Let's play it again. The Democrat Party. Tonight, something remarkable happened inside that building right behind me, the White House, something the media won't tell you. That's right, the President Donald Trump, just 1 month into his historic second term, hosted a Black History Month event. Let's just say the room was packed with black Americans who aren't buying the lies anymore. Because here's the truth. The Democrat Party for decades has taken black voters for granted. That's not me saying it. That's exactly what we heard today from the people in that room. And why wouldn't they feel that way? Think about it. Trump's been in office just 31 days. And what has he done? He secured the border, slashed regulations, cut costs at the pump, re-energized American industry, and delivered real economic results. Meanwhile, the Democrats, they spent 4 years gaslighting the American people while letting inflation skyrocket and pushing radical policies that nobody asked for. But what happened inside wasn't just about policy, it was about something deeper. We saw black Americans standing up, looking around the room, and realizing they are not alone. One speaker said, and I quote, "We vote in our best interest now," and that interest, a secure border, lower taxes, and a leader who actually delivers. And one of the most striking moments, David Harris Jr., a longtime Trump supporter, Donald Trump called him up. He took the mic, he called out the mainstream media's manipulation, saying he left the Democrat Party and now has his own show on Newsmax to expose their lies. Another speaker made it clear Trump's reelection wasn't just political, It was divinely ordained. And then there was Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers of all time, stood alongside President Trump at this event. Just a few years ago, Trump awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and today he was back standing proudly with the man he calls his friend. So as the media continues their meltdown, desperately trying to pretend this isn't happening, remember what we saw here today. Black voters aren't just leaving the Democrat Party, they are running, and they are not looking back. I'm Gary Franchi reporting right outside the White House. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. Tonight certainly is just the beginning. I want to point out, too, that Angie's like, you need to go and file a report right outside the White House, right at that spot. And I'm like, I was actually thinking about doing that, and so it was pretty wild just to be able to file a report, man, from the frickin' White House. Wow. Who would have thought, right? Here we are. So let me tell you what the cameras didn't show you. When I was there, when David Harris Jr. took the podium unannounced and called out the media lies right to their faces, I watched Tiger Woods stand proudly with Trump. I saw hundreds of black Americans pack the White House East Room, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. The energy was electric. It wasn't just a celebration. It was a repudiation of everything the mainstream media has been telling you. The National Garden of American Heroes isn't just a project, it's a permanent monument to the truth about black excellence in America. But here's what we need to ask ourselves. If Trump is really who they say he is, why did I witness hundreds of black Americans enthusiastically fill the White House to support him? And why did the mainstream media refuse to show you what I saw? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And make your voice heard with your exclusive Next News gear. Grab a hat, grab a shirt, the MAG Avengers collection. People are loving it. Become a MAG Avenger and hit the link in the description for shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right, let's check in with the Super Chats. Anything new to speak of? Whoa. Cassandra Hughes has become a member. What's up? And so has Carolyn. Carolyn Peterson has become a member. Sharon Johnson also dropping $2. Thank you, Sharon. We're now at 153.31 and 46 new members. In large part, majority, because of Juan Ruiz dropping 40 memberships today, gifting them out. How cool is that? And you got to make sure you have your gifts turned on if you want to receive it. When somebody decides to be generous and donate gifts to people. And when you are a member, you get to see some of the behind the scenes stuff of me traveling to the White House, me and my crew, in the car or in the plane or wherever we are, through the airport, the hotel. You get to see some of the real raw stuff that just we wouldn't publish elsewhere. So now we have 46 new members. You guys get a chance to see some of that stuff. So let's check in real quick again in the main chat room and see what everyone is up to. Great job, says Damn Deb. Thanks for all you do, says Joe Must Go. Johnny Cage says love NNN. Carolyn 2, Gary 1 minute ago. Carolyn, yes, gifting members. I grew up on everything. I had the great MTV channel. Wow, me next week. New members everywhere. You think we've made enough? We think we have enough to make him do the Trump dance yet? Great reporting, says Jerome. Cassandra is N3 family. MAGA baby, says Lena. Carolyn, beautiful. It's okay. Joining the family was perfect. I'm okay. I will get rid of this thing and get Gary more. Thanks, beautiful. Carolyn Peterson dropping $5. I think did that just come through? Did that? Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. Wait, whoa. There it is. A video game controller. Looking forlorn between the words, try again. Thank you, Carolyn, for that. What else is going on in the chat room? Obama's birth certificate is a forgery. I believe that to be true as well. Say hi to our new Canadian friends. What's up, Canada? You guys want to be the 51st state? Deb Noble, yes. Go, Carolyn. Been watching for years. Congrats. Thank you, Wilson. Carolyn is on fire, says Duty to Rebel. Don't tread on me, Lena. That's amazing. Gary, how do we send you gifts? You can simply do that by tapping the little $sign next to the chat room where you enter in a text. A little $sign will show up, and you can go ahead and you can drop a super sticker or a super chat, or you can simply hit the links down in the description and make a direct donation that comes directly to us. How do you turn gifts on? That's something I don't know exactly how to do, but some of the guys in the chat room will help you figure that out, because you want to make sure you have that enabled so that when somebody, like I said, is generous, that it's random too. Like I'm not sure what, I'm not sure how they determine how the gifts are chosen. I believe it's completely random. It could be how long you were in the chat room, how long you've been watching. My guess, that's probably what it is. So, great journey. We are here with you. What? Juan Ruiz, another 10 memberships? Holy cow, dude. We're at 52 new members today. My goodness, Juan. You are just shocking me right now. Look at that. 10 new memberships. That's like 50 new members he just brought in today. Wow. Johnny Cage, Eric, Anna Walker, Trump's Trigger Finger, Joe Brew, June M, Luminous Grin, Trinity Meadows, Bud Green. Wow. Wow. What's this? Oh, and then Yahweh Your Way, One Way, also receiving a membership too. Holy cow, guys. Let's check in on the main feed, the main raw feed for the Next News Network. What's this? Okay, what's this? Breaking news. 6 seconds ago, Secretary Hegseth has fired Lisa Franchetti. Bye-bye. She was the Chief of Naval Operations. What else is here? We love this administration. Elena Habba's heartfelt, emotional congratulations to Kash Patel after being sworn in.
I want to say something different and share a story that I've never told. Oh boy. Kash is my brother. I could cry. I'm not allowed to cry. I'm supposed to be a tough chick. I take it. So Kash is my brother. We always say we're brother and sister. We have gone through a lot together. In fact, we went to a grand jury, and one of the pictures they put up was me and Kash, and I started laughing hysterically, and so did he. And I remember saying, "You're right, that's my friend. Do you have a problem with it?" The reality of the situation is when I started here, and I started in this world, I did not know anything about it. Kash had my back. I could cry, but I'm so proud of you. That's all I want to say. The president is proud of you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. That's right. You guys got Habba on camera crying. But when I started working for President Trump, he told me, "I want to make things right." There were no indictments yet. I thought I was just going to be a normal lawyer. I was like, "Sure, I'll do it. No problem." But sir, I'm not getting involved in politics. Next thing I know, I sued Hillary Clinton. And this guy had my back, taught me so much about what we're about to change. He told me what the swamp was. He taught me about the case. He told me what he saw. And that was the minute I became committed to America, to President Trump, and to Kash Patel. And I would not be here if it was not for this person. And that's the real honest truth. And I've never said that. Have been my warriors. They have been pushing me to fight for this country, and now I am so proud to be in this administration with you as the head of the FBI. You deserve it.
Before you hear from Alexis, Kimberly, I just to see you over there. Wave your hand.
Yeah, you won't see that on the mainstream press at all, but we'll show it to you here. We also have this. This just in. Let's take a look. What is it? What's going on? This just in. Breaking Town. Homan has just revealed that President Trump has tripled Coast Guard patrols to deal with the cartels. And also, the military will attack the cartels in 43 countries they're operating in. Holy cow.
3 times more.
Cartels are getting craftier. They're obviously trying to adapt to what you're throwing at them. You're seeing this video now. They're on boats. How have you seen the coyotes and the cartels kind of reorient their business to handle what you've done?
Look, they are going more maritime. We knew they would. That's why we've increased Coast Guard patrols 3 times. 3 times more we have in the past. So Coast Guard will answer that call. So we're going to shut them down maritime too. Look, we're going to put them out of business. President Trump is designating them criminal terrorist organizations, which they should be. They've killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in this world combined. President Trump will end up wiping them off the face of the earth because we're going to put them out of business. You put them out of business, you take their money away. They can't bribe Mexican officials. They can't bribe anybody. Without money, they have no power. We're not just going to attack in Mexico. The Jalisco cartel, we're going to attack them in the 43 countries that have operations currently, operations in 43 different countries. We're going to attack them worldwide.
Holy cow.
Cartels.
That's huge, folks. That is absolutely insane, but I'm here for it. I know you are too. So what we've witnessed tonight isn't just news, it's history unfolding in real time. So think about what we've covered in just these last 3 hours. In his first month back in office, President Trump has fundamentally transformed the political landscape of America. 73 executive orders, a 93% drop in illegal border crossings, the confirmation of an FBI director who actually wants to expose corruption, and that's just the beginning. We showed you Elon Musk at CPAC, not just trolling the left with a chainsaw, but making a serious point about government waste. When he and Trump both started talking about Fort Knox on the same day, it wasn't a coincidence. They're telling us something important about the state of our financial system, and we need to pay attention. In the border situation, complete transformation. Remember when they said it couldn't be fixed? Well, we showed you the numbers tonight. Illegal crossings have plummeted, NGOs laying off staff, ICE raids are doubling. Secretary Noem isn't just talking tough, she is talking action. And then there is Kash Patel. His confirmation as FBI director has sent shockwaves through Washington, so powerful that, well, did it cause Mitch McConnell to announce his retirement on the same day? You be the judge. But when the longest-serving senator leader steps down, right as a new FBI director starts reviewing a certain list, I'm going to tell you something about maybe the fear running through the establishment. And of course, we showed you what the mainstream media refused to show. Trump's historic Black History Month celebration, the National Garden of American Heroes, will stand as a testament to the truth that they try to hide. And I want to thank all of you who sent in Super Chats and Rumble Rants tonight and gifted all of those memberships, $182, 56 new members. Your support and engagement make the show possible. So special shout out to everybody who gave tonight. And of course, we're going to continue to monitor that Fort Knox situation. But here's the truth. We can't keep bringing you this kind of reporting without your help. The establishment wants to shut us down, right? They don't want you to know what's really happening. And that's why they try to bully me in the White House press room. But that's also why your support is so crucial. The donation links are in the description because it costs money to travel to Washington, D.C. It costs money to drain the swamp. It costs money to expose these people. So every small amount helps keeps us fighting. And don't forget, visit our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Our exclusive gear is more than just clothing. It is a statement, and when you wear it, you're telling the world where you stand. Most importantly, though, tell a friend about this show. Share this episode. When we drop the segments on the YouTube channel, share them around. Text them to a friend because the algorithm may be trying to suppress us, but they can't stop word of mouth, direct text message sharing. The truth will always find a way. So thank you for joining us on this edition of the Raw Feed. Together, we're not just watching history, we are part of it. And we will see you on Monday, same time, same place. And the fight will continue. So have a wonderful and blessed weekend.